Last time on Scarlet. After 6 long years apart, the former members of Team Scarlet found themselves drawn back into each other's lives once again by a single desperate transmission from their missing leader, Scarlet, now a cartographer lost somewhere deep in the Vacuo Badlands. Cecilia Gray, returning from harrowing medical mission near Shade Academy, tended to survivors of a grim attack before discovering her old team scroll buried in a dark drawer in her old room. Scarlet's fractured voice emerged from the static. I found something impossible, and they're after me. If you can hear this, I need you. Far beneath the city, Lucky, fresh from the brutal underground fight against a suspected Crown enforcer, glimpsed the same emergency distress signal. Trusting his instincts and the weight of history, he set out to find Cecilia before heading into the desert. The two reunited unexpectedly, sharing a tense but hopeful moment as Lucky climbed into the back of Cecilia's truck and began the long journey west, armed with only Scarlet's handwritten guidebook and the faint coordinates blinking on their screens. The sand grows harsher, the storms grow heavier, and something vast stirs beneath the dunes. Let's see, hang on 1 second. The desert winds howl across the cracked windshield, and the horizon ripples like liquid fire. Between you and the Badlands lies a labyrinth of dunes, dried ravines, and grim territory. Scarlet's old guidebook lies open across the dashboard, a hand-drawn map filled with coordinates, warnings, and her familiar handwriting. You can almost hear her voice in each scribbled note. I allow you guys to take the scene. You guys are still been driving for several hours. It's been about, I guess, I would say 4.5-ish hours since you set off originally.
I think
she's
Lucky,
kind of. Yeah, was I let you go first? No, you go first.
Lucky is just sort of like holding his side, sort of like, and just drinking the pain away. And he goes, "Hey, Doc, if you could stop by an oasis on the way, I'd like that. Just need to clean up a bit."
Cecilia looks back with her hands on the wheel. She sees him holding his side, and she's like, you hear like the heaviest of sighs. She's like, "Lucky, I thought we talked about this." You see her press a button on the console in the like right in the middle, and I'm gonna use this because I like the idea. She presses the button in the middle. She's like, "Cersei, follow the route we were going." And you see her hop out of the driver's seat and spin back around and get into the back seat. She's like, "Move your hand."
"If you touch me, I will burn off your eyebrows."
"Move your hand."
"I will burn off your eyebrows."
"Lucky, this isn't a conversation we're gonna have. I'm your doctor, and I always have been your doctor."
Yeah, it's been what, 6 years, 7 years?
Yeah, that's also the reason why I'm saying to move your hand now.
It's just, I just want to stop at a watering hole, clean off my clothes, that's all.
We will. After I patch you up. The car's still moving.
It's patched up. Just.
Are you, your definition of patched up is super glue. That's not patched up.
I mean, in World War II it worked. Why doesn't it work now?
Lucky, lift your shirt. Lift your shirt.
Normally I'd like to wait till the second or third date before I do that.
Lucky, you know this. I'm not into men. You know this. Just lift your shirt. I don't mean this in any way other than just a doctor. Lift your shirt.
He begrudgingly tries to only lift just to expose the most recent wound, hopefully not showing any more of the deep cuts and like wounds that haven't fully healed right.
Can I roll a perception check to see if I notice the rest of them, Tony?
Yeah, go make a perception check.
Are we?
You can roll with your own dice. You can roll with whatever you want.
15.
Okay. Do I roll like a sleight of hand or something to try and hide it?
Yeah, I would say roll a sleight of hand.
Okie dokie. What is my sleight of hand? Do I have a sleight of hand? Oh shit, 19.
19. So
Yeah, 10 plus 9.
as Lil kind of fucking
If you can
as
say Cece, if you can say Cece, because her name is Cecilia Cece
Yeah.
Gray. That's her whole name.
I'll just stick with Cecilia because that rings off a little bit better for me.
Yeah, fair enough.
As Cecilia she is trying to like, you know, get a glimpse of it, but the way he keeps like grabbing his shirt and pulling it kind of down, like, you know, he's just like kind of keeping it. You can suspect there might be something he's hiding from you, but you're just like, you're trying to heal and take care of what's visibly there. Do you want to give me a medicine check?
Yes.
Medicine roll.
Or do you want me to? Well, I mean, I can do either one. Do you want me to do my semblance instead? Because that's more normally what I use in the first place.
Oh yeah, whatever. Unless if that's I think your semblance is medicine, right? Same sort of thing.
They both use the same stat, and I have an expertise in both of them.
Okay,
So.
cool. Go roll for that.
I don't know where my
18.
dice tray is.
18. So
Yep.
you being very well adept at what you do, you're very easily able to kind of just patch him up, and with what supplies you do have on hand for this journey, you kind of packed
Which
for
isn't
only
a lot,
yourself.
but-
Yeah, I was gonna say you really packed for only yourself because you weren't expecting him to just hop on board and roll with you.
So, what I was gonna say. So since she realizes she doesn't have, so Cecilia kind of looks in the back. She's like, I don't have enough for that. I don't have enough patch materials for this. So you see her kind of roll her sleeve up.
It's
And you see her
fine.
semblance kind of,
Good.
you see her kind of, like a little like mini kind of string come from out of her wrist,
Mhm.
and you see it kind of stitch up the wound that she can see.
Yeah.
And then as it stops and finishes, because she doesn't have it, when she uses her semblance, it kind of follows the direction to patch it up itself. So it patches it up, and then she kind of like pulls it off of her wrist,
Yeah.
and you see her kind of roll her sleeve back down. She's like, I know you're hiding something from me, but we don't have time for this. That'll hold until we get somewhere. And you see her kind of... You see her spin...
I'm fine.
Yeah, I don't believe that. But you see her kind of roll, like, kind of spin back up and sit in the back in the front seat. So Cersei is her AI that is in her car. it's the AI So she kind of uses it. It helps drive her car when she wants to put on auto drive. It helps her and her apprentice work around in the shop when that's trying to like just kind of keep up like
Her
appointments
assistant.
in the
Yeah.
shop. Yeah. So it's kind of like what helps her manage stuff. So she rolls back up front, and she looks at the map and then looks where she's like, Cersei, how much farther do we have to go?
Scanning.
That was a question. That was technically a question to you because it was asking how much farther do you think we would have to go?
So I'm gonna say, as you've been driving around for several hours, you've been leaving the Vacuo outskirts into the dunes. As they begin to sort of shift, I'm gonna have you give me a couple of rolls for navigation. It's gonna be a little bit of a navigational challenge.
Okay.
I'm gonna have you roll. So what we're going to be doing is I need you to determine the correct path as you're coming up on a bit of a landscape where it divides into two different paths, and you're also, while both you and Lucky are kind of also using the guidebook to figure out which way is the best path based on the notes and knowledge left behind. I'm going to have you do a survival roll and a perception roll.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna roll them both at the same time.
And if Chris wants to do that as well,
should
we
I-
can compare them, yeah.
Okie dokie. Shit, let me. Sorry, I am fucking restarting.
I am rolling both dice at the same time, so just keep that in mind.
Whoever has like
Yeah,
the
I'm
better
sure.
like survival and perception, I'll have you guys roll individually for just the one and the other.
Okay,
Oh,
so I
so-
guess
What do you have then, Chris? Because I'm better at perception than survival.
perception and we should
Survival.
I have a +3 in both.
Okay.
Because I have a +5 to perception and a +3 to survival.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd say Lil give me the perception and Chris the survival.
Okay.
Okay, I'll use the dice I was rolling for perception. 'cause I already
Ooh,
rolled it.
that's a nice thing to see. That is an 18 plus 3, so 18, 19, 20, 21. 21.
Okay.
I rolled a 24 for perception because I rolled a 19 and I have a +5.
So as you're kind of driving along, you start to slow down as you, Lil, spot a buried road marker before the sands. As there's kind of like a big dirt hill, sand hill that has been kind of covering up. You see like fences that used to be maybe some sort of farmland at one point. Now there's a road marker that was buried over, but you notice that there are two different paths, one completely broken off and another leading to sanctuary. It says off to your right. And as Chris gives me a 18 plus 3, he is able to determine that the way that arrow is pointing, you should be making a right and going towards the different landmark.
So she kind of looks over. She's like, I see a sign. I'm assuming that's the way we go. I'm not really sure though. As her basically asking Lucky.
So what did I see again?
So essentially, based off of your kind of survival instincts, you get a sense that the direction where the sign is broken off, just not based off the sign, but based off of the look of that general direction in the terrain, looks like it would be much harder to navigate that way, and there's pretty much no road left that direction. But on your right, there is more of a valley that leads you down, which looks like more of a safer path.
Sorry, I'm trying to get in this voice again. There we go. Yeah, if you go to the right, I think it's a valley. The left, it seems that the walkway, the path has sort of been lost over time.
Alrighty. You kind of see her like spin the wheel to the right. You kind of see her just kind of like start like a little bit of a drift to the right. She's like, all right.
Lucky's gonna be keeping his eye out for like some kind of like oasis or like sort of watering hole sort of thing, just somewhere where he could stop and maybe clean his clothes a little bit.
So you're looking for somewhere to kind of pull over?
Yeah.
All right. Actually, this is another perfect timing for you to give me an intelligence roll.
Just straight intelligence?
Both of us or Lucas?
Who has a higher intelligence?
Or well, are we? But is it intelligence or is it like an investigation or a history or?
This is more of like an intelligence. I think there's a intelligence. Yeah, there's a. Just give me a passive.
You can't just give it straight intelligence.
Yeah, give me straight intelligence. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm getting used to looking at this again. 18.
I'll let Chris do it since Chris.
Based off as you also have, like I said, you have Scarlet's coded map on the dashboard kind of laid out, and based off of what you've been kind of drawing a map connecting dots, almost like a fucking star system, and you've connected a kind of symbol that leads to what looks like an old refinery / refueling station, not far from the direction of the valley you're kind of driving into now. Seems like might be the perfect spot for you to pull over.
Hey,
what's up?
There's a refinery up here. I think there's like a small, like sort of watering basin over there.
Yeah, most refineries out in the desert do have smaller ones so people can refuel and restock on supplies. I mean, we can stop there. We don't have anywhere else. We've been driving for a while. I need to stretch my legs anyway.
I'm kind of running dry as he sort of looks down at his empty bottle of whiskey. Kind of need a pick me up.
I will lastly, before we get to this refinery, ask for a Arcana check from Lil.
I do not have an Arcana.
I have a +3, so.
Lucas is not smart. He's wise. He's a +0 to intelligence.
15.
15. Okay. You don't recognize it right away, but you start kind of. It's a little. You're not sure if it's like motion blur you're seeing or what, but as you're driving around, you're almost recognizing that the sands seem to be almost like you ever see like when sand vibrates on like on just any kind of surface where it has this weird hovering effect. It almost looks like the sands are affected by some residual dust energy. You're not sure where it's coming from or why it's there, but you're noticing that it might have to tread carefully among the sands, as you don't want to accidentally set off some dust explosion with your exhaust from the car.
Yeah, Cecilia kind of looks. She's like, we've got to be a little bit careful. I don't know exactly what. Something dust is in the desert still. Cersei, keep the car going. Just divert power a little bit lower.
Acknowledged. Diverting power. And you start noticing your speed drop down from about you're not going too fast in the desert,
Yeah.
but since it's a warthog, it is kind of going, I'd say, maybe 50 miles per hour. You've kind of dropped down to about 40, maybe 30-ish in between those speeds as you're going over terrain and stuff.
She's trying to make sure she doesn't blow up dust on the way there.
As you start kind of traveling closer, you start seeing the refinery refueling stations start to come closer into view. The refueling station stands half buried in the desert, rusted skeleton swallowed by time. Once a bustling outpost for travelers, it now sits silent, its metal awnings bent and sun-bleached, fuel pumps cracked open like carcasses picked clean by scavengers. Faded signage flaps weakly in the hot wind, and shattered glass litters the sand-covered concrete. The air smells of dust and old oil and abandonment. Beyond the station's perimeter, the dunes stretch endlessly. Something about the stillness feels wrong, as if for some reason this station is holding its last breath. You guys slowly pull up to the refueling pumps, and you kind of get out to stretch your legs.
Is there like an oasis or something, like a place like with water?
You can definitely make an investigation around the local area. Maybe they're because you did see a passing by like an old western farm that might have.
Okay.
You might see that this area
So
might have something like that. Yeah, I would say give me a perception or investigation. Yeah, you'd be investigating the area locally.
Could it be survival? Looking for like water, like where water might lie, where like, because I'm not very intelligent, but I'm pretty wise. Still rolled a 9, so that is 9 plus 3, 9, 10, 11, 12. I rolled a 12.
So you kind of check around the local area. You peer into shadowed corners of what looks like an old refueling garage, and you kick aside some sand near a collapsed storage shed that was kind of once there. There might have been water line once here, but whatever remained has long since dried up or been buried beneath the drifting dunes. Unfortunately, you do not find any drinkable water, just rusted pipes.
Oh, I'm not looking for drinkable water. I'm just looking for water that might clean clothes.
I mean, you can...
He's looking for a bath. He kind of smells.
Try, I would say you go up to kind of test, the water supply, like still trying to turn on a sink or two that might be in the kind of bathroomish area. And as you do that, you kind of get like driplets of just rust water almost. And it's kind of just like gross looking, but it's the tiniest amount of like water source that is still left within.
At least I can blame it on rust and not blood. He like sort of like not even caring, takes off his shirt, drops trow, fucking even checks to make sure his boxers aren't bloodied. A little bit of blood, he doesn't care at this point. So he just fucking takes his pants and his shirt with a little like little water and a bit of he sort of, as he takes off one of his gauntlets, you see the hand missing 2 fingers. So he only has 3 fingers on his right hand.
Jesus.
Yeah.
He got fucked up, huh?
Yeah, he's seen some shit.
Goddamn.
So 3 fingers on his one hand, he sort of like focuses on his draconic ancestry, and his scales that are normally subdued sort of shift and sort of like cover his entire hand for a second as he's like focusing, like he's been playing with this like connection to to this like draconic blood for a very long time, since he sort of like his power sort of emerged.
Damn.
And he takes his like scaled hand and starts to scrub his clothes using it like a Brillo pad almost.
Oh my god.
So it's like scraping. So the clothes are getting a little ripped, but the blood is like slowly working its way out, and it's becoming more of a muddy, rusted look. And the rust is helping to like add that sort of thing. So his clothes are a little cleaner. A little. And then he just hangs them on like a like pole that he sort of finds. And
Like
then
a
he
railing
just
somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, a railing, and he snaps his fingers to like create a little flame. He doesn't need to do this, but he does it does it to like not draw suspicion, cause well, he does it out of like habit almost, knowing that like he knows that Gray like he knows that she knows that he can breathe fire, but out of habit he snaps his fingers to create a spark and breathe fire. Not enough to like not enough to burn the clothes, but enough to like quickly dry them. As he's just sitting there in his boxers, and that sort of if Cecilia were to look, she would see if she were to like come and stumble upon him, I'd say, she would see what he was trying to hide in the car, which is
question.
years of wounds that have not fully healed, and several like fresh wounds that are like new, that are sealed with super glue, and sort of like some.
Is he inside this building, by the way?
Yeah, so he'd be like inside the fueling station by now.
Yeah,
it would
some,
be.
like,
I imagine it'd be a little bit
cover.
bigger, but it is a very small looking outpost. Like a quick rest stop, a quick get a vending machine. You see, there's a vending machine that's been smashed out. There's like one bag of chips left inside of it that remains. It's been sitting there for a long time.
Does do the gas pumps seem like they actually
the
cheddar sun chips.
Oh, that's nasty. Why
you don't like the cheddar sun chips?
The Vacuo sun chips.
Really?
No, I like the sour cream and onion sun chips.
I like the cheddar one.
They're pretty good. I love cheddar shit.
I like cheddar like Ruffles. Cheddar cheese Ruffles are pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah.
the sour cream and cheddar ones?
Yeah, those ones fucking slap.
I was gonna ask, did the fuel pumps actually look like they still were like outputting fuel to like through them?
Give me another investigation. Why not?
Investigation or perception?
Well, you're going. I keep saying investigate because I'm in my head. I'm thinking you're going to investigate to see if it functions the way it should. Yeah, I would do investigation.
Okay.
Oh, Tony, you want me to knock off one of my breath weapons for drying my clothes? I'm fine.
Oh
with
yeah.
it. I have
Did you see the gold marks on his cheeks for the dragon stuff?
I did.
Oh yeah, for the scales, I like it. 13, Tony.
So you go up to investigate the to see if the pumps function the way they're supposed to, and you go up to it, and sure enough, it still has almost a full thing of fuel, and you're like, huh. Okay, you plug it up to the car and it starts fueling as it should. It even has an old Schnee Dust Company tap to pay scanner that still functions. Tap to pay.
Cecilia looks, takes the pump out. Not happening. Then she walks inside. She's like, "Hey, Lucky, we gotta." What the hell is wrong with you?
Lucky's essentially buck-ass naked.
Lucky, what the hell is wrong with you? I know there's no one here, but you can't just strip down in the middle of a gas station.
I'm just sorry. Just drying my clothes. That's all.
Can I roll another perception, by the way? See if I.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess. Well, wait.
We're not hiding it at this point. He is not hiding it at this point.
Okay, that's what I was asking. I was going to ask before. She's like, And I knew something more was wrong with you. Turn around.
No,
Turn around.
I will bite you.
I never said I'm doing anything. I just said turn around.
No.
I can make you turn around. I will
Oh.
use my semblance more often than you
There you
think I
go.
will.
There you go.
He fucking moons you. He flashes his ass at you to get you to go away.
She just kind of sighs. She's like, again, I feel like I should reiterate this. I've dealt with kids that are this bad. I've had this happen before. I'm not surprised.
He just
You think those kids back at the academy are any better?
He just ignores you, starts putting his jeans back on, and grabs his like white stained shirt and throws it back on. Grabs his vest and sort of like throws that on as well.
You all
Lucky.
suddenly feel a sudden, ooh, like the ground starts to rumble, and almost like a miniature earthquake kind of resonates throughout the room and the land around you for a quick 5 seconds before it suddenly just stops. And for a minute, you almost hear the wind completely cut out before it
Lucky
shortly
immediately-
resumes.
Lucky immediately shifts from just no, don't stop to immediately hands back in gauntlets, fucking Henry Cavill reload animation.
Oh my god, the arm reload.
Cersei,
Fucking,
Cersei,
like-
so have I told you what her weapon is? I know. I don't know.
Flashbacks in his eyes.
Have I told you what her weapon is, Tony?
What's that?
So you know how every Ruby character has to have a weapon that
Yeah.
turns into a gun. So basically,
gimmick gun.
hers has 3 different modes. It's a lance. It shifts. She clicks a button, it shifts into a rifle. But then she can click another button and it turns into a pistol. But she always has it in pistol form just because it fits better on her hip.
Yeah, altogether, yeah.
So you see her kind of pull out her gun, press the button, and it turns into a lance.
Nice.
She's like, Cersei, what was that?
Miniature earthquake.
That it? Seems like there was more. It does not seem like that's all it was. As she kind of like walks out the door.
Scanning the terrain. Scanning. Captain, we are not alone.
Figured. Cersei, move the car around back.
You hear the car start to move, but then you almost hear it kicking up dirt, as it might have gotten stuck a little bit in the sands. It might have gotten a little stuck after the earthquake kind of ruffled the terrain a bit.
He's like that.
I think
Time to
I think
happen.
Lucas is gonna go. I think Lucas is like his entire demeanor shifted. He looks over at Gray with the determination she has seen one time when they fought the last fight they had together, and a darkness that she has never seen. And he just goes, "Gray, get in the fucking car now!" And he runs.
Even if we
over.
get in the car, it's not gonna move.
He grabs her, picks her up, and I'm gonna use Step of the Wind to basically wings sprout out from his back, these spectral golden wings that you've never seen before, sprout out from his back, and you fly fucking incredibly fast. You get thrown into the car as he swoops around behind the car, and with all of his might lifts the fucking car up with his bare fucking hands.
Can I get a strength check for the lifting?
Yeah, would it be athletics or just
Straight
strength?
Strength with your modifier, I guess, because it's your yeah.
Cool. And let me just check to see if my gloves do
You also,
anything.
as you're doing that, you also fail to realize, since you're kind of just brute forcing it recklessly, you're doing it while the gas is still connected to the fucking tank.
Oh, I thought you pulled it. I thought you unconnected it when she walked in.
No,
Well, you
didn't.
gave it a minute. As I say, you gave it a minute to let it fuel up fully.
Oh shit.
So he's just strength check, right?
Yeah.
That's a dirty 20. 15 plus 5.
Okay.
As his gauntlets, the core of his gauntlets start to glow intensely, as his muscles start to ripple out of his shirt for a minute, as he lifts it up fucking full force, almost tearing the fucking gas pump out of its fucking mooring.
You just see it just stretching to its absolute brink of like it cannot go and it cannot stretch any farther, and you see
Cecilia,
fuel kind of leaking out a bit.
She kind of reaches over and just pulls the gas pump out and throws it backwards.
You notice, can I get a perception check for Cecilia real quick?
Yeah, sure. 17.
As you throw it back, you see something you didn't notice before on top of the fuel pump. You notice a desert dust filter, kind of like a face mask that goes over your face to protect from dust. But you also notice like almost a small envelope on the inside of it poking out that stuck out to you for a moment.
Did she already throw it, or is she able to still grab it?
Well, he just lifted it up, and all you did was throw the nozzle back. It didn't even land really in the thing. It just kind of landed on the ground. But you see it on top of the tank.
You see her kind of shift over seats, and she reaches over and grabs the little like envelope that's on the pump, and then you see her kind of turn back and get back in the front seat.
Yeah, so I would say you collect a desert dust filter, which also will grant you resistance to heat, and you also see a small note from very familiar handwriting. You recognize this handwriting as Scarlett's handwriting. That says, "If you made it this far, you're following the right stars."
Oh, this girl and her riddles. Lucky, get in the car.
He is actively starting to push the car. Start driving.
I am. Just get in the car. We'll be fine. We just need to get it unstuck.
He's pushing. Once you start moving, he will hop in.
What was your?
Does.
Did you roll that strength yet?
Yeah, I did. I said a dirty 20.
Okay.
15 plus 5.
Yeah, you're slowly kicking it out of like whatever. It must have sunken a little bit into the sands as it was getting kind of roughly, and you start to get it kind of moving again to where it can drive on its own, and you climb in the back.
And he climbs in the back, and he just fucking he sits there for a second, and his demeanor has shifted to twitchy, like. He's now looking over his shoulder, sort of like checking everything, sort of like pulling out like a pair of binoculars and just fucking looking out the distance. And his like whole demeanor shifted from being this like beaten down man to someone who is terrified of what's gonna happen next.
As she starts driving, by the way, you see her kind of. She grabs her weapon out of because she put it in the seat next to her. You see her kind of grab it and shift it back into a pistol, and she kind of just sheaths it, like kind of like sticks it back in its holster on her hip. She's like, "I'm not gonna ask you questions, but I feel like we should talk about that. We have to get out of here before whatever that was, because I don't know what it was, but we were not alone. We have to go."
Lucky is completely ignoring you. He is like. Shell-shocked, I think, would be the best description. Like, when soldiers come back from war and it's just like...
Yeah, I know, I get what you mean.
Something like PTSD hits them and they're just, like, back in that moment. Lucky is right now trapped in a moment that he is reliving over and over and over again.
As she's driving, so her vines don't just sprout from her wrist, they sprout from her whole body, technically. You know how she has the red tattoo on her neck, Tony? Like the red, like, flowery tattoo? You see kind of vines come from, like, that part of her neck and her shoulder, and you see it grab stuff out of the trunk, and you see her just kind of place a water bottle next to Lucky as they're driving. She's like, I know you're not going to drink it, but just keep it there. As she just kind of, like, she steps on it.
And you guys continue to drive off, and you head back onto the shifting roads. As you kind of start leaving Vacuo, the dunes slowly start shifting, and you know a storm is going to be coming. Not soon, but you are going to have to get to nightfall. Find shelter at some point. Yeah.
You kind of see her look at the map, but she's like, "You never actually detail these maps, but you never actually pointed out other things other than one distance." She's like, "Cersei, find me the nearest rest stop that we can spend the night at."
Our coordinates indicate that the original base for Team Scarlet is coming up shortly. we just need to get through a few more of the canyons as she kind of has like you were able to scan the parts of Scarlet's book into the AI system by this point, as it's been kind of trying to navigate for itself, but the connection has still been kind of weary in the desert.
It's spotty.
So her processing's a little rougher.
And it's spotty because so Cersei's main kind of unit is back at her office.
Yeah.
And she kind of like lets it stay there 90% of the time, so that if she's gone, because do we remember what her name was that we named her? Is it in the comms chat for D&D? No. Is it in...
Love my liquid core die. I think my mother got me these for Christmas, and they're just so pretty, and they roll really well.
I don't know exactly what remember. I'm gonna scroll through until I find it.
I love my liquid core dice. Also, I love how my D4 is not a normal shaped D4. Instead of it being the pyramid, it's almost like a diamond almost. It's a really cool D4.
But anyway, we're still going because so the whole thing, the reason Cersei's is kind of spotty is purely because she's more she's always at the office more often than she's in the car.
Yeah.
So she moves a lot slower. Like her processing moves a lot slower in the car than it does back at the office. Say it that.
Yeah. I would say by now it's been a little over maybe half an hour, 45 minutes. You've been driving and it has calmed down a bit. The visibility is getting pretty low. You're only able really to see what's directly ahead of you, bits and pieces of the road, and you're trying your best to follow along what little of the road is still there.
I think by this point, Lucas is sort of calmed, and he just shifts back and sits down.
She looks back. She's like, "Oh, welcome back. There's water next to you. Drink it."
He sort of puts his gauntlet down and removes his right hand, 2 fingers missing. As he looks at it for a second, hand shaking. Before he shakes his head, grabs the water, and like ungauntlets his other hand. As these like massive like gauntlets that are about the size of a head each shift back into almost and magnetized to almost like a small cylinder, almost like you know in Halo the nuclear football from like
Yeah.
Halo 4 that
the ending.
The mini fridge?
The mini fridge. It essentially it shifts to that sort of size and fits to like his back with these 2 like glowing, barking like prismatic orbs that sort of rest in the center of each of the gauntlets.
She's like, "I'm not gonna ask questions, but as your doctor, it's kind of intuitive for you to tell me things, but I'll leave you be." As she kind of just continues driving.
He just sits there. Old wounds never heal. As he just gulps down the water.
Cecilia.
Like, huh.
After, I didn't want to interrupt you, but
No, you're good.
a moment as you drive, you've been thinking a lot about. You haven't really taken a moment to fully think about like exactly what it is you're expecting to run into when we finally get there. You almost like a wave of feeling that you haven't felt since the days when the team was fully together. It's a feeling that comes back closer to the day you first met Scarlet. Of when you first met her, she was very not you knew of her story prior to Atlas, that something bad had really happened, and when she became on this team, you noticed a side of her that was like putting on the brave face to be the leader of this new team that she was made part of when becoming a huntress for you guys. We all did the initiation together and everything was great, but you always noticed that in between the lines, you noticed Scarlet there was bits of her she wasn't always telling, and bits of her that, you you can almost see in between the lines what she was really feeling, and even in her message, you think back to the message that she sent. She sounded tired, exhausted, and somewhat scared, and you start to feel a concern of what you might run into when you do meet her, and which version of Scarlet you might be running into. The one you met back in Vacuo, or someone you knew, someone, she, after 6 long years, she could be someone completely different at this point in terms of
someone
if
that's
she's
completely
changed.
different.
Because at this point, you know next to nothing about what's going on and where she's been, how she's doing, and you knew, like I said, you knew in her past that you always kind of looked out for her in many ways, like always kind of thinking of her in the background, that you knew she was always carrying burdens that she would never tell anybody.
It's the doctor's instincts.
Yeah. And Lucky might even feel a sense of maybe guilt, or possibly even disbelieve that she's really still out there and alive,
I think Lucky sort of, like, he came back. He did come back, so he cares about Scarlet, but I think there's a layer of, I guess over time he's become very jaded, especially with events that happened, the events that caused him to lose his fingers, the events that traumatized him to this extent, the events that made him close off to the people he cares about. He has become more jaded in the fact that people have to be protected, and he constantly thinks back to the day he realized that he couldn't trust Scarlet anymore. And it's this constant fighting of, I want to trust her, I want to care about her, but then there's that little voice in the back of his head, and he's like, she abandoned people that needed help. How can I trust someone like that again? So it's this constant conflict of wanting to care about someone because they mean so much to him, but also seeing the darkness that they can cause, and being so sort of warped by the experiences he's had. He has become a very much cynical and closed off person.
Yeah.
I guess is the best explanation. So he does think about Scarlet, but not as often as he would like, because he knows the more he thinks about her, the more anger he feels.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like to feel angry towards someone who he cares about.
So these are things you guys kind of reflect over as you do. You realize you're getting closer and closer to finding out the truth of what happened, because at the point of which you meet her, you're gonna realize that stuff's gonna finally come. You're gonna finally get the answers you kind of thought about in your head after all this time of what happened, where did they go, what did they prioritize versus sticking around to help save people, and instead of going after the big bad that they were chasing down. All those answers will start, you realizing you're getting closer and closer to being able to ask those questions, and these questions will lay as you're getting closer. I don't know if you guys want to have your characters talk about it to each other as you continue driving along before the next. I'm going to do another navigation challenge before we get to the next thing.
I think Lucas, after that sort of spurt of PTSD and sort of reflecting on everything, he has gone quiet. It's almost a shift between boisterous and a little sluggish, a little sloshed, and I think correlates to his liquor imbibement. He drinks a lot. He is a drunk, and at this point, he's been dry for how many hours has it been since he's ran out of liquor? He doesn't know.
Probably 2 or 3.
We've been about, I was gonna say, it's been about maybe 5.5, almost 6 hours now.
Yeah, so he's ran out of liquor about
probably 2 or 3 hours ago.
4 hours ago. He downs liquor quick.
Yeah.
And he's now starting to sober up a bit, and sober Lucas is darker, more terrified, and more brutal, you could say.
Cecilia, you kind of
He
You
is
kind of see
quiet more than anything else.
Cecilia's kind of like, you see the car kind of driving on its own because she didn't say it out loud earlier, but Cersei is kind of more. Cersei's really good at reading emotions because she's, especially for Cecilia and her apprentice back at the office. She's really good at reading their emotions. So she kind of saw Cecilia take her hands off the wheel and lean backwards. So the car is going on its own. You kind of see her like looking up. Is it like dark out or is it like sunset?
It's very low visibility. It's like this is what you were kind of coming up on before the sun slowly, like the sun's about here now,
Is it
but
like
visibility is a little bit lower because you're getting into a bit of a darker sort of like valley.
See, it kind of like leans her like leans back in the driver's seat with her hands behind her head. She's like, and she just kind of starts thinking out loud. She's like, I wonder what we're gonna find. I mean, Charlotte's going through all of this. Just kind of get us over wherever she is. I wonder what we're gonna find when we get there in the end of things. Considering this is the first time I'm getting to talk to. She looks back at Lucas even. She's like, considering that this is the first time any of you have tried to interact with me in the past 6 years.
He's just got a 50-mile stare. Not even making eye contact, he just goes, thanks for taking care of those folks I sent you a few years back.
Please, you think I didn't know you were the one who sent them to me?
I thought
No one really knows where I work anymore other than the people at Shade Academy. So when you get a bunch of random people that are coming up into your office being like, oh, hey, we were sent to you. Only 2 people that I can think of. And like I said, Scarlet doesn't really interact with me anymore. So you were the only option.
I don't like losing people. Thanks for making sure I didn't lose any more.
That's what a doctor's for. This was my only ideal. I never really had much else. Being a huntress is fun and all, but you can only save so many people, and by that, I mean, look at our last mission. It went off the rails because we all had a disagreement. We had 2 people who wanted to help civilians, and meanwhile the other ones just wanted to be normal huntresses and go after the big bad guy and get recognition. But no one really knows exactly how to help everyone. So my huntress license doesn't really go to use as much.
Sometimes the best way to deal with the cancer is to rip it out at its source. The only thing people listen to anymore is blood.
Yeah, I guess that's the one way to look at it. It's like, but if you look at it in a more positive light, being able to do anything for the world is better than nothing.
At least one of us got to stay above the darkness we chose. You were always a good one.
Well, that's what I'm for. I was a team medic, and I was, even though she wasn't my partner, I was partly the one who was the second in command at this point. Scarlet might have been the leader, but.
And this entire time, if you ever look back at him, he never once looks at you. He's staring off in the distance, almost thinking or reviewing life over and over again. No smile. Cold determination and hatred sits on his face.
You kind of see her look back. She's like, "Oh, come on, mask can fall. I'm not going to judge you. I never have. Don't have a reason to. You probably do more than I do. You'd probably do more for this world than I do. I'm just a doctor."
A single tear rolls down his face. I'm not a hero. I'm just a killer.
Well, if you're a killer, then look at all of us. That's what every hunter seems to be out. BY. Because you never exactly huntresses never get to the end of their story.
But at least some get better endings than most. As he looks down at the gauntlets, I'm kind of jealous of that wisecracking fucking monkey.
Well, we're older now. So, kind of see her, like, lean forward, stretch her arms out. She's like, well, only one way to make a change in the world. And that's to get to it. Even though her and... Do we remember our other teammate's name, Tony? You never actually told us.
So I will tell you now, his name on the thing is different now than what I changed it to. That's the one right there. So his name was originally Forerunner, but I changed it to something different. His name is Grimlock.
Grimlock?
Grimlock, yes. Like Grim, named after the Grim.
So, just out of curiosity, because I feel like we should get more information about him before we think about it. Was he more like Scarlet on like the Atlas end of things, or was he more like me and Lucky as on being on the Shade Academy end of?
He was born and raised. Well, you don't know too much about him other than he was like there in Vacuo from the beginning. From what he told you of his backstory, he was a quiet, local kid. Grew up in the city and seen all the heroes, huntsmen and huntresses, protecting people, and wanted to do the same. And he essentially been, trained, and like I said, one of the other kind of quiet ones on the team, but he was always there when you needed him to be.
She's like, I mean, all of us, everyone's different. We're us. You guys all left Shade Academy as soon as we graduated. Our last mission could have went off the rails. Let's just say it that way. But if the going off the rails helped people, whether it was us, just me and you, or it was them helping people by going after who we were chasing, I think it was worth it.
You notice, you're kind of saying that as you were holding the guidebook, flipping through it, and you kind of turn back to the main cover where you see Scarlet's guidebook to navigating Vacuo deserts, part 1 of a trilogy she's kind of got going on out there.
Mm-hmm.
And you've seen these books pop up over the last 6 years, like little iterations of these guidebook things, sort of like SAO when they were making the guidebooks for beta, from the beta testers.
How Argo as a beta tester made the floor books to give people extra help.
Yeah.
On the floors going up.
And you read a quote on the front page that says, "Leave a path for those who come after."
That's an Expedition 33.
Yeah.
That's an Expedition 33 line, and I love it.
It is.
For those who come after. She kind of looks at the quote. She chuckles a little bit. She's like, "For those who come after."
And then Lucas is he's pulled out a pipe. This gnarly, handcrafted pipe that he's carved himself. It almost looks it looks almost like a dragon's claw holding, a bowl.
Like the golden dragon claw from Skyrim.
Yep.
I don't know what, man. That's the first thing that popped into my head.
And he puts it up to his mouth, snaps his fingers, and fire drifts on his thumb as he sparks whatever is inside that bowl.
She looks back and she kind of chuckles. She's like, "You are so lucky we have an open roof."
And he just looks up to sky. Another tear rolls down his face. To those who come after.
And you see a shooting star fly across Remnant sky over, kind of crossfading the Remnant moons and disappearing beyond.
So, question. Are we getting the next navigation part? Because I was going to ask how far we are.
Let us do. Later on, you start to see a massive storm kind of rolling in, and visibility is starting to drop to close to 0, where you're seeing next to nothing in front of you. Your headlights only illuminating through the fog and almost barely illuminating the. You put on your high beam fogs at this point to try and get a little bit more visibility.
Lucas is wrapping a scarf around his mouth and throwing on some goggles.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask
Cecilia kind of
for a
does the
couple
same
more
thing
checks.
where she like you see her open the center console, and you
Mhm.
kind of see her like she gets like a mask that she puts on, like it's kind of like a red one that
Yeah.
it seems to be made from her own vines that she
Mhm.
kind of like wraps and ties, uses her semblance to tie it up behind her, and you see her kind of put goggles on.
Oh,
And you
Jesus
kind of see her flip.
Christ. That's not time yet.
Jesus.
Not time yet for all that.
Because what she does
Attack.
is in her icon she has a ponytail, like she has the ponytail. So what she does, she let her hair down while she was driving, but you see her kind of wrap it back up. And the funny thing is she's never actually used like a real hair tie.
Yeah.
She just always used her semblance like with her vines to make her own hair tie.
That's sick.
So you kind of see her wrap her hair back up in a ponytail, and she's like, "All right, let's get to it."
You notice the surrounding area is getting almost like you're almost seeing like a field of electricity sparking and zapping out and around as
Fucking
your concerns from earlier with the sands being almost kind of coated with dust. You're seeing that this storm is kind of igniting mini explosions throughout the area, kind of making the terrain a lot more like kind of stay
Harder to
clear.
navigate.
Yeah. You also remember a quote from her book as you kind of check it quickly to see as you're getting to the area she describes. It says, "The sands remember movements and rearrange paths at nightfall." And you kind of start seeing like the electricity almost shocks the sand, turning it into glass, and then it like liquefies again back into sand, and it's like having this weird split reality sort of effect to it. And it's like you're kind of like it's getting rough out there. I need everyone to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Saving throw?
Yes. This is to essentially there is a sheer amount of force from the storm since there is no top
19
tier
even.
car. Yeah.
On save. Let me check
19
to see
from
if
Bill?
I don't have.
Yeah, I don't have an addition to it, so it's
Yeah.
just 19 flat.
I get a +1 for con saves. I'm thinking about whether I want to use one because I have 3 luck points from my lucky feat, and also I know that saving throws don't count towards my semblance lucky, because I know lucky is We worked that out where it's like out of combat and out of important important moments
Yeah.
can just have advantage, but like actual important moments like serious things that have to burn a luck point to do so.
Yeah, a lucky point. A lucky point. That's it.
Yeah, lucky point.
Your Constitution, Mr. Krish.
I'm debating whether or not I want to use a luck point here. I don't have any other special features, do I?
Question: Can Bardic Inspiration can't be used on saving throw?
Bardic Inspiration.
Martial arts.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm asking Chris.
Focus points. Bardic Inspiration can be used on con saves, yeah.
Oh. Well, I was asking because if you really want me to, I can use a Bardic Inspiration.
No, you don't have to. I'm seeing if I've not looked at this character in so long, so I'm just checking to see
You're double checking everything.
presence. All combat stuff, slow fall, stunning strike, empowered strike, wings unfurled, evasion. Oh, but that's for deck saves, not con saves. Damn it. Acrobatic movement. While not wearing armor or wielding a shield, you gain the ability to move along. Okay. That doesn't really help. Hasten to focus. Increased self-restoration. You can remove one of the following conditions from you at the end of each of your turns. Charmed, frightened, poison, in addition.
While he's doing this, hey Tony.
Yo.
Can you like crop her out of this picture and send it to me?
Who? Her?
Cecilia.
Oh. Which one?
Like, can you out of the one in the corner?
Oh, in the corner? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, can you like crop her out of that and send it to me? Because I kind of want to put that for my character sheet.
I was thinking in my next prompt I'll throw in the tattoo because I had to throw in the prompt afterwards for Chris's face scales. So I'll do that for yours.
Also,
But she has a tattoo on
remember
her neck.
Lucky has full tattoos across both arms.
Yeah.
Mine
It's like
for,
actually because actually you have the one I have of Lucky is basically what he still has those tattoos. To remember the one for my if you look at our like actual campaign, you'll see what Lucky looks like, but with more tattoos.
Yeah.
you know, because so what I basically do, what I did with her is her tattoo is very similar to a Withering Waves resonator, like resonance mark, tacit mark, which is like how they use their powers in Withering Waves.
Yeah.
That's the main source of where her powers come from, because when she uses it without her aura active,
If you can
it'll
write
pull
that,
her- it'll
if
pull
you
it.
can write that for me and send it to me in like a DM so I can use that in the prompt later, that'll help. Like if you can describe it the best you can, as accurately as you can to what the tattoo looks
yeah,
like.
Tony,
Yeah.
I rolled a 9.
A 9. So
I
okay.
think I will, because I think Lucky makes it so I can choose whether to do it after I roll. Whenever you make an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, or when you a roll is made against you, you can spend one of your rolls to roll an additional d20, and you can choose the die to use. You can choose to spend a luck point after you roll the die, but before the outcome is determined. I am going to burn one of my luck points here.
Okay.
I get him back at a long rest, so
So you
let's
just
grab
it's
another-
pretty much auto, or you got to reroll again.
No, I roll an additional die, and
Okay.
then I can choose, which die to use. That's a nat 20.
Okay.
So
So
21.
the storm, as it starts to getting rough, starts kind of throwing a lot of wind back and forth, hitting the truck, making it slightly harder to steer. You're fighting the wheel a lot to maintain balance on the road, and you're kind of seeing lightning zap in the air as kind of remnants of dust are in the sands, kind of zapping around you. You manage to kind of dodge your head past it as it almost kind of hits you guys. You guys are clear. You're what you've got on currently has enough resistance, to the exhaustion from the storm's force. You're getting up closer to a kind of turning point in the valley, where you're not exactly sure where you're going next. You can continue to navigate. I'm gonna have you guys give me another survival check. Just a survival check.
Both of us,
Or,
or just one of us?
DC is saving, right?
Yeah, saving throw. Yeah, it would.
When it says DC.
Well, no, it depends. If it's a check, then it's still survival check. If it specifically says saving throw, it's a saving throw.
Okay, so like I said, it says on my thing here for my character sheet, it says DC, so I'm not sure.
That would be difficulty class, like what we need to roll to beat it.
Okay, well then right here, I'm gonna have just give me a survival check then for both of you guys.
Would this be something in which my semblance would be working at this point, or is this another high stakes roll?
This is more of you're kind of, like I said, the visibility is low and you're still in the process of navigating through this valley. There's nothing, it's harder to see, so you need kind of both of you guys to try and keep a close eye out for where you're going. Yeah.
21.
Well, I'm asking, am I rolling at advantage with my
I would say yeah. Go ahead. You can roll at advantage.
That's a 9 and a 17, so 17 plus 3 is 19, I think?
Okay.
Is that right?
20.
You guys are kind of...
Oh, that's 20. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm bad at math.
You guys are... You got, like, your fucking compass in one hand and Scarlet's notes in another, and from what the notes are telling you and based off the magnetism to your watch, to your compass, in her notes it specifically says... the compass is a lie, follow your heart. And it's a little cryptic, but essentially what you're seeing is because of this area's, the magnetism in this local area from the storms is kind of fucking with it. So it's giving you kind of a false sense of direction anyways. You see like a rearing path where if you're going towards this small tight valley where there's a low road and a high road. And as you're coming up the high road, you start to see it kind of bridges up, and it's tight and narrow. And you also see on your left side a bit more of like a dark, like a Minecraft ravine sort of thing. It's going down almost into like a cave.
Lucky says as he like reads the fucking notes again, he just says,
Yeah.
"DC, remind me to burn our fucking pants."
So, out of curiosity, she just sighs and trying to struggle. She's like, so I was gonna say, should I roll something to see which way we should actually go, or is it just like
Yeah,
something?
so
That's part of the survival.
that's part of your survival. So I just need your guys'
okay.
rolls again. Your numbers.
Do you want me to re-roll?
No, I just need the numbers. I didn't hear your
21
numbers.
then.
21 for you.
And a dirty 20 for me because I got 17 plus 3.
And I
Okay.
got an 18 plus 3, so
You realize you're seeing that the high road's going to be the best option because the winding roads down to the bottom only lead to a darker, probably more dangerous path that isn't worth going down. But you're
Cecilia
noticing
kinda
it's going to
like-
be harder going uphill when you can't see where the turns are going to be. That's going to be your it's unfortunately for you, you're kind of seeing it's the best option but also a more risky option.
And what did the book say?
It's telling you, she's pretty much saying that the compass based on the gravitational pull in that area is kind of it's giving you false sign of direction where you're following. It says to follow kind of south, but it's really pointing like west, almost northwest.
So
and it's kind of spiraling in different directions. It's hard to read.
So if I pulled up the compass, which way's pointing? So where do we need to go? South?
You need to go south, and the way you're pointing it kind of in the direction of the upper road, but it's not really south in that direction. But again, the compass is hard to read because it's it's almost like spinning. Like it's not really giving you a clear direction.
What if I point it towards the lower path? Does it point south at that point?
It almost starts pointing like northeast. Like so, it's shifting, so it's not consistent in any way. Like you can't really get a good read on it.
This is Cece's compass, right?
Yeah, this is my compass. Yeah, this is my...
He just goes, fucking shit, and tosses it out the fucking car.
You throw the compass out, and it's lost in the desert forever.
You know, you're really lucky I have an AI that's in this car.
I need my driver to roll a strength check.
Oh, strength? Like just strength check or saving throw?
Strength check. There's no saving throws for this.
Oh god.
Is there anything I can do to help? Because I'm...
It's fine, it's a 19.
19? Okay. So
What's
this
the
was a
fucking
check to see
strength
if
stat?
as
Plus
you're
2.
driving up the tight
17.
roads, you're mostly trying to keep the truck upright going against 80-mile-an-hour winds that are constantly pushing against the truck, almost like you're like, oh fuck, we're about to fall off this bitch, but you manage to get a tight grip on the wheel and shift it. You almost have to go on like a strange angle to keep it the right way.
Do you think
What's
that
up?
I could... Oh, I was going to say, like, is there any way that I could, like, bamf out my spectral wings in order to, sort of help keep us on the cliff and not flying off?
What do you want to do?
Well, I was going to use my Step of the Wind ability, which I can use Step of the Wind and then use one of my Wings Unfurled effects, which allows me to, for the duration of Step of the Wind, like bamf out these spectral wings that give me a flying speed.
Okay.
But I was gonna see if like I could almost act like a sail, maybe.
Oh, okay.
You want to act like a sail with your wings? That's kind of
This
funny.
is kind of
actually.
tight for like going through this valley, so we're gonna keep this music.
Also, I wanted to say, so to keep kind of her hold on the wheel and going right, you kind of see her semblance furl out of her wrist more, and you see the vines kind of hold her structure on the wheel, so she can still move her hands, but it's kind of keeping her kind of more grounded to the wheel, so she can't move as much.
Yeah.
Like, so she doesn't like move around as much without like willingly doing it.
Could I act as a sail as I like tie my take some rope I have and tie my ankles to like
the fucking
like,
turret or something. Yeah.
to the frame of the fucking car, and then I just act as a fucking sail to help us like maneuver.
Yeah, I would say so. Because as you're driving up, you do see from your point of view up there as the sail, you're seeing like the back left wheel is just the only thing hanging off the mountain. But because of the way Cecilia has to keep the wheel on a weird angle to keep it completely straight, she's managing to drive completely straight forward, almost like driving like how we did in cars, keeping it driving right to go left. Keeping it that way, even though there's a tire hanging off the wheel, we are staying strong. These Warthog 4x4 all-terrain wheels are really putting in the fucking work. You manage to spiral around the winding ravine until you get to the top. Give me two of you guys. Give me perception rolls. Perceiving.
Is this another one I'd be at advantage on, or is this a straight roll for me?
This will be if you have advantage. I would if it gives you advantage, then yeah.
23. I rolled an 18 plus 5. I'm on a roll.
Nothing gives me advantage. I'm talking about my semblance. I'm letting you be the judge of when my semblance is active and when it's not.
I mean, I would say it's active. I would say it'd be because you're locked in right now. So like you're trying your best to keep everyone alive in this moment. You're locked in. You're looking around and shit. Give me advantage and give me a roll.
I rolled a 23. I was like
23. Good. Good.
Yeah, I have an 18 plus 5.
Nice.
So
I rolled a 2 and a 12. So
okay.
12 plus 3 is
15.
15.
All right.
15.
As you make it up the top of this kind of ravine valley, you're seeing an overpass where you're seeing like almost shapes moving in the storm, and you see them, you recognize them as like grim silhouettes in the north-ish direction. Like I said, you don't have a compass anymore, so you're going based off the map and your instincts at this point. You notice there are two different ways you can go. You can go under the underpass where the grim are, or based on your perception rolls, you also see off on the I'd say the left side of the canyon going kind of around the underpass, you see sort of like a faint red flare.
Cecilia kind of like sees it, and she looks back at Lucky. She's like, "We're doing it," and you see her kind of turn towards the left side, going towards the left side, so she can
The truck just veers.
Is this what we do?
She's like, "Just trust me. The book says follow your heart. Let's go."
And you veer off, avoiding the underpass, and you start driving towards the red flare, which gets brighter as you kind of leave, and you start leaving the storm, which looks like it's specifically circled around the specific point in the valley. It looks like that valley's specific gravitational pull pulled a strange storm into this spiraling storm. As you kind of clear through, it leads you out of the storm's core. Still, like at this point now, this image becomes more like how it is. This is what you're seeing now, and behind you, that castle over here, that is kind of what you're leaving. That is where like the underpass kind of would be. It's more of like a ruins that the Grimm are overtaking over there. And you make it out, and you start pulling up to like to see where these where the red flares lead you. And you see a large crater as you emerge from the storm. The sands begin to shift kind of naturally back to its natural state. The desert rumbles like behind you as you've gone along, which I would give you another perception roll, Lil, since you noticed it earlier.
Oh, another one?
Yeah, perceive.
Steven. Ew. Well,
I just realized my dragon barrels have two different fucking like ranges.
14 for that one.
14? Okay.
Yeah.
You notice the sands also you're going past beyond where you saw the dust ingrained in the sands, which means you should be heading towards safer territories in terms where you were. And you mentioned
the code. Okay.
You guys eventually, let me change to a somber track real quick.
Lucky sort of like plops his ass down in the back seat, and he's like fucking cleaning like sand out of his ears.
Once you pull up to this large crater in the center of the desert, and you see a bunch of poles sticking out of the ground, almost like premature made grave sites. And on top of these poles are various different Spartan helmets. They're all different markings, different engravings, and you see different numbers on them. And you see kind of it's more of a memorial site for, this looks like this was very recent in which these were kind of laid out, actually, maybe a couple days old by the looks of things. And you see within this large crater, there must have been a large battle here.
She kind of like looks over, kind of see her pause the car a little bit, and she's like, "Huh." You kind of see you hear her say, she's like, "Celia, keep the car running. Give me a second." As you kind of see her hop out, like kind of hop out the other side, and you kind of see her make like a little black flower that's attached to one of her the vines from her wrist, and you see her kind of just place it next to the middle one. Like, how many are there?
There's about like 6 of them. There's a small party.
She puts it like as close to the middle as she can get, and she kind of like leaves it there, and she's like, "May your souls rest." As she kind of like turns back around, you see her pull her sleeves back up, because so she wears long sleeves, but she has to pull her sleeves down in order to get her semblance to come from her wrist.
Yeah.
So you see her pull her sleeves back up, and you see her hop back in the car, stretch, and she's like, "I don't know where these came from, but these look like the same thing as Scarlett's helmet." Is the interesting part.
I think Lucas, like, not wanting to step close to Graves because he's afraid of what might pop into his head if he does. He pulls a small flute out of his bag and just starts to, just in the back of the car, looking up at the sky, starts to play almost a death dirge, like a haunting trill of mourning, I would say, is the best description of it. He's not good, but you can feel you can sense the emotion behind it, so even if it's not, like what the bards would play, he feels that it is a fitting sort of memoriam to those who have passed.
I was gonna say, that's just all she does is place her flower, because what she does, she's a flower girl.
Speaking of which, you notice you in your back pocket you've been carrying since the start of your adventure, you still have your old scroll, which you kind of feel something poking out of your pocket that's like attached to it almost. So you kind of pull out the scroll and you feel something kind of slightly on the back of it. You flip it behind, and where the battery kind of tray is on it, you see a very small, tiny little rose that was taped onto the back of it for you that you didn't kind of notice the first time you were holding it earlier.
She kind of looks at it. She's like, "Huh. Wonder where that came from. That wasn't me."
And you notice it's also, you recognize it kind of as Scarlett's favorite rose that she used to always smell in the botanical gardens on Vacuo in the
in the academy?
Yeah, in the academy, in the floral shop.
That's really cute, because Cecilia was I always had the headcanon that the way her semblance works, Cecilia was the one who made, like, she made a whole garden in shade when she wasn't doing classes. I like that. I like that, actually.
Suddenly, the desert rumbles.
Don't suddenly me.
Like a beast beneath your feet.
Lucas,
oh God, the music.
Lucas pops up and immediately gauntlets himself.
You hear a sudden
step on it. fucking step on it.
You kind of
Suddenly, the sands emerge directly in front of you. The sands erupt upward, a monstrous serpent-like grim. Its black scales rimmed with molten orange dust. Its roars cry, piercing shriek that cuts through the storm. Roll for initiative.
Cecilia sighs. She's like, well. You see her kind of pull her pistol back out from her hip. And you see her tap the button and changes it back into her rifle. She's like, it's been a minute.
Wait. No. It is gonna be a 19 for me.
19
14 for me.
14 for Lil. And actually, I need a dice. I'm gonna use just hold up. You might see this in D&D Beyond. I'm on your tab by accident. 4. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Okay. So let me write this. I have an
Hey,
initiative tracker now in Discord.
You know what's funny? Oh, you have an initiative tracker on Discord? Where?
In D&D category. I'm gonna write
Yeah, it's right
Lil.
under
Oh wait.
characters.
What was your numbers again?
14. Chris was a 19, I think.
One more time.
Chris was a 19, I was a 14.
Okay. Okay. This Grim is pissed. Chris, you're up.
How far away am I from it?
I'd say about like, it's not far from you. It's about like 30 feet ahead of you.
Oh, fucking easily can make it there. He just immediately goes, every fucking time. And he gets up with his gauntlets on now and squeezes the bar like if the roll cage bar, and it bends. You just hear the metal like screech as he squeezes just a little too hard and launches himself forward. Fucking launching onto the ground and immediately going in for
That wasn't me, sorry.
Goes in for his first punch directly into its scales to try and find like a little weak spot.
Okay. I have a. Here we go.
I don't have a sword.
Oh, this is cool.
I know, it's just whatever. I didn't even add sword in the prompt.
The Grim looks a little weird, but it's kind of cool, though.
Well, that sucked for my first attack. That is gonna be a 11.
11. It
Yep.
You kind of run in for a punch, and then you just kind of punch it in the face with little to no. It's like unflinching, and it just looks down at you.
I think with my second attack, I'm gonna wrap my hand around one of its horns and breathe fire directly at it. It needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, let me see here.
DC 15.
DC 15, got you.
Yep.
Let's see. DC of what? Dexterity?
Yeah, dexterity saving throw, DC 15.
DC 15, okay. I'm gonna use Lil's dice here. Nat 1.
So is that double damage?
That's crit fail, I was about to say.
It does not have resistances, so yeah.
Okay, that's 2d8 for me. Not 2d8, 2d10, because I'm using my my dragonborn breath, not my monk breath. And it is I don't do any extra damage, do I?
It's double damage.
Oh, it's double damage.
I figure
So
for
do I
nat
roll?
20s it'd be double, double the roll or whatever, double the damage, I imagine.
Yeah.
I'm
So
cool with that.
would I double the die, or would I roll 2 more die?
If you wanna just times 2 the number at the end of
Okay,
your first roll
so-
there, I think that makes sense.
So that would be 1 and a 4 for 5 times 2 is 10 points of fire damage. As you just hear as I breathe it directly into its face.
Breathing
And then
fire.
and then
Nice.
I'm going to spend a I'm gonna spend one of my focuses to Flurry of Blows. My heightened Flurry of Blows gives me 3 more attacks. And I believe they are also fire damage, if that matters at all.
I don't think so.
Okay, just in case, like, it's weak or something to fire damage, because that's my punches. It's like, my fists, like, after I breathe, my fists start to glow, and, like, almost like through the gauntlets, there's just fire through each of, like, the mechanical joints.
Yeah.
Fucking, 20... First, fucking balls. That is 9, 10, 11, 12. That's a 12 to hit.
Does not hit.
Second attack. Nutsack. 9, 10, 11,
Nutsack?
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 to hit.
That hits.
Hey!
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a D8 fire damage plus a D4 force damage. As my knuckles, as these like Quintech gauntlets start to like spark, the like gems start to spark as they like almost shift into like prismatic dimensions. That is 5, 6, 7 points of fire damage, 4 points of force damage.
How much? Minus what?
7 points of fire, 4 points of force.
11 damage total.
Okay. It just kind of. That's better.
And then third attack. You know what? I'm gonna burn. I probably should have done this first, but I'm gonna use my my metallic breath weapon for my third attack. I need you to. Oh shit! I'm not gonna die. But I need you to roll a con save, DC 15 again.
DC 15 con, okay?
Yep.
I'm gonna use roll dice again. Let's see. 17 plus 3.
Oh, it makes it.
It makes it, okay.
So it's like, as it roars at me, I go and roar right back at it. And there's like a pulse of like green energy, not green energy, sort of like reddish, goldish energy that flows through it, and it shrugs it off. And I just go. And that was my action, bonus action. That's it for me.
All right. Lil, you're up.
So a big thing that Cecilia packed when she was going. So you see her kind of grab onto the bar, kind of hop over it, and flip back to the trunk of the car, and you see her kind of flip over the top of it because she had like a tarp over the top of it, and you see her grab. She has different ammunition stocks in the back of the car.
Yeah.
Of dust. So you see her grab like a thing of like just the first one she grabs. Do you want me to roll to see which one she grabs? Because there's only 4 different types of dust rounds back there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
D4.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Let me roll a D4 and see which one I grab. So there's fire, ice, lightning, and earth. So let me. Ice. Wow, I wasn't actually gonna go for ice because that's why I rolled, because I wanted to see if I would get it. So she grabs the ice rounds out of her out of the back. And she kind of pulls the tarp back down and she loads it into her her rifle.
Mm-hmm.
You see her kind of hair pink.
It's always been pink.
Oh, it's white. Oh wait, no, it's just that it looks white, but it's pink on there.
It's the lighting. It's the lighting on this one that makes it look white. I think at least. But you see her kind of peer over the side of the car, and what she does is she pulls like the bipod off on the bottom of her sling, because she has like it's like a DM, it's like a bolt rifle. It's a bolt action rifle that she has, and she kind of see her set the bipod down, and I'm gonna have her fire once at the. I'm gonna see if she can fire it right in the eyes. Hold on. I'm assuming a 29 hits because it was a 19.
It definitely hits, yeah.
Yeah, it was a 29 plus 9. So it's like 8. I think like 28 or 29.
Yeah.
So that's 2d8. Hold on. I'm getting my dice.
Oh, I
That
bought a
is-
toothbrush.
11 on the first, well, 14 on the first shot.
14 damage?
Yep.
Okay. You see it whoosh, on its left kind of like shoulder blade. Ah!
It kind of smirks. And
You see it also starts to freeze up its right shoulder and almost kind of, you know, how fucking Weiss would shoot like ice and it would, you know, frost up on it.
Yeah.
It gives him a little
And-
bit of slowness as well.
That's also why it's kind of funny that because partly what I have I think I do because I would assume she's mastered her rifle by now.
Yeah.
If I hit a creature with it, it slows them, and it reduces their speed by 10. By
Yeah.
10 feet.
That makes sense.
So I think what do I want to do? Scroll. I think I'm just gonna take another shot. I'm gonna pull a scene on this bitch. Just take another shot. 18.
That hits.
The 9 plus 9.
That hits, definitely.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll 2d8 again. 8 plus 3, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 more damage.
And you're shooting it?
Yep, I'm
With
shooting
your
once
gun?
again. Yep. With the ice dust in it.
I don't have the ice sound effects on this one,
No,
but
it's fine. No, it's fine. I'm just saying it's got it in there.
you start shooting at it. It starts to do this loud, like almost like it's pounding the sand, like it's throwing a temper tantrum.
Kind of see her like, as she like after that, she kind of see her like roll back behind like the car, like using it as cover,
Yeah.
and she's like, huh, well, this is interesting. What do I want? Actually, you know what I forgot? I forget that I'm 2 levels in fighter. I'm gonna action surge. I hate
Oh,
you.
there you go. Oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna action
you're doing a fucking laser. There you go, laser attack.
I'm gonna action surge, and you kind of see her like gear back over, and I'm gonna just take another 2 shots at it. No, can I just roll 2d20s for both attacks? Is that okay with you, Tony?
Sure, go ahead.
Makes it easier so I don't have to roll.
Yeah.
So that's 17, and then 17 plus 9, and 12 plus 9. That's by both my attacks. I don't know if that matters.
Total. Your highest
12
total.
Well, 17 plus 9 is 26. And then
Okay.
12 plus 9 is 22, I think.
Well, either way, they both surpass. So yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. So we're going to do that. 12 plus, that's 15 on the first attack.
15 damage.
Yep, 15 on the first attack. And then 13 on the second.
Oh, here we go. I didn't even see that one. 15.
So
hold on,
28 in
minus
total.
15.
28 in total.
28 in total.
Because
Okay.
it was 13 on the second one, and then it was 15 on the first.
And you're still shooting it?
Yep, 2 more times. It's like you just kind of hear the bang and the bolt back and the bang and the bolt back. Kind of like you've seen SAO, so it's kind of like Xenon's Hecate. You just kind of see you kind of hear the loud fucking sniper shot.
Yeah.
Bolts back and then like, again.
There's your snipers.
And then you just hear fucking Lucas in the fucking background. Your mother.
And that's my turn.
You suddenly hear several explosions in the background, kind of just south of your current location. Kind of, so for you, in reference to you, it would be like more like kind of on your left behind you in the upper, like there's like a large kind of peninsular ledge. And as you hear those explosions, you see 3 distinct figures on the top of the mountain, and you hear 3 distinct sniping at the creature from directly behind you.
Oh, Jesus.
You see 2 figures kind of waving at you. Woohoo! You just see them start. They just start jumping down. They start sliding, almost like skating down the fucking like snowboarding down the fucking sandy hill.
Oh,
hey,
God.
Look like you'd use a hand. Woohoo! Yeah! You see just one guy with a machine gun start opening up. You got 2 more people joining the encounter. I will roll them into initiative just for funsies.
Cecilia looks at him. She like squints a little bit. She's like, "Introductions will have to wait. No idea who you are, but introductions will have to wait."
I'm gonna do.
Just fucking in the background. Watch your fucking shots.
Hold up, typing female fighter, and then you get another one here. I gotta roll one more time on Lil. I'm just using Lil. I haven't left Cecilia's page. I was too busy doing other stuff, so I'm just on that. I'm not using your stats. I'm just using the dice itself. All right, 17. What was everyone's initiative rolls, real quick?
14. He's ahead of me. He's
And
before
Chris was
me.
what?
After Chris. 19.
19. Okay, so I'm gonna do this
19.
above.
You should probably have written the like what we rolled as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that now. 17, Chris.
Yeah.
I had a 19.
19.
And I had a 14.
Yeah, I have a 10 plus 9. My initiative is plus 9.
I have a little plus 2.
And then. I keep.
Is this just
it's
fucking-
caps lock.
Caps lock, caps lock, caps lock.
There we go. No, that one. Yes.
Did you
Okay,
caps lock
updated.
again?
Yeah, caps locked
There
like
we
6
go.
times. All right, you see 3 distinct individuals wearing like scavenger kind of deserty sort of armor. They all have like almost like a uniform look to them, where they have these like these strange scarf slash like cloaks to them.
I know it's probably not the time. Do any of them look somewhat familiar to me since I've been here for a lot longer than it seems? My question is, do any of them look like they're from Shade Academy?
You notice there's a female fighter. The female fighter next to you. At this point they've kind of grouped up with you. At this point, they're right next to you guys. They ran in, seeing you from the valley down there. You do kind of notice the look of this female fighter's face. You've seen her somewhere before. At this current moment, you can't pinpoint where you've seen her
It's
before.
hard to discern at the time. She looks familiar.
Yeah. Anyway, they're in the fight now. Who went? Lil, you went?
Yeah, so I already ended my turn.
All right, so you have this gruff-looking dude kind of stepping. He looks like he's like the leader. Has this really nice-looking mustache. Like that's his like distinct figure.
No,
not this time. Not boys.
Boys.
Well.
Ladies and fellasmen.
All right, boys. Let's kick some fucking arse.
Is it?
You see?
Are you trying to do an Irish accent? Are you?
This is
Some arse.
This might be a little bit of an O'Connor's. An O'Connor's, yeah.
O'Connor's.
This is like the closest I can get. He's an O'Connor's brother. Yes.
Connor's brother.
He's gonna just do a basic. I'm not gonna do anything too crazy with these guys. They're just gonna open fire with their base weapons. I'm actually gonna use your rifle automatic stat here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just 2d8.
Be
plus
careful.
3.
Mine is also a +9, but I think that's also.
I still gotta roll to
9.
hit. Yeah.
But then mine is a +9. I don't know what. I think that's also because I'm proficient.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
I also
okay.
get a +9.
You see the leader kind of like recklessly opening fire just at this creature. Most of his shots, because he's an automatic weapon, he's not too close to him, is just not really hitting. He's maybe making a couple of shots, but they're not doing too much damage to him. No, he's not. You're out of his directional path, unfortunately.
Good. I would.
Well, great job for that, idiot. I was trying my best there. And then he's gonna end his turn because he's not doing too much to add to the fight. She actually pulls back this sick transformable bow that she's actually got these very long, precise arrows that have like tracking to them, kind of like in Destiny. I'm
Oh, you
kind
know
of
what I think of? I think it's like Bella's arrows, actually.
yeah. I'm kind of basing them off of the Destiny exotic. I fucking forget what the bow is called, but it's a really good bow and has like tracking arrows. Like when you're hit firing.
Tikus. No,
TQs. Yeah, TQs. So literally just TQs. She's firing kind of like tracing arrows at them. I'm gonna roll another attack here to hit.
I remember that because that was like one of my favorite weapons when I got it.
Another 5. Advantage.
I always got made fun of for using it.
Because she's good at what she does. Nat 20. Okay, bet that works.
Okay then.
There we go. All right, bet. I'm still gonna use the same dice roll as this. 2d8.
I was gonna say if you're using anything, use the pistol, because it's piercing. Well, I guess they're all piercing, but I think
D10. That's actually I'll do that.
Yeah, it's D10 plus 3 as opposed to 2d8 plus.
Wait, what's D100? That's not it, right?
No, don't do a D100.
Oh, D10. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, D10.
And 1d10 plus what?
3.
3. So me 6 plus 3 is my 7, 8, 9. All right, calculator.
And then times 2, so it's 18.
Oh.
Because you rolled nat 20, right?
Yeah. Hang on.
Also, I actually think Chris is right. I think her hair is white in the corner. I just realized that.
Who?
The picture in the corner, I think, has her have white hair as opposed to pink.
Yeah. Like I said, I
didn't realize that until now.
When I do do them, like you have to make sure when you do a new image, you got to make sure the same. You have to say keep this exact design and make sure you write down hair color, all that stuff.
Yeah, I get it.
Jesus Christ, I just farted and it smells awful.
That's horrible to hear out loud.
I didn't even know that, but I mean,
TMI.
Fucking
TMI.
I gassed myself. I'm the Nazi.
I am the Nazi. Nah, hold on.
She starts.
Don't quote that.
She starts firing these arrows, and you see them fucking beautifully tracked to its weakest points, its arms, its legs, its upper jaw. Ah! You then notice, everyone sees this without having to roll or anything, you see distinctly and specifically the mask of the monster here, the skull here, starts to glow very distinct, like bright white, and the eyes start glowing a brighter red than the rest of the body itself. Oh, this song came back on. Is this oh, it's the Grimm's turn. All right. She's gonna end her turn, and she's gonna kind of, she's like, I would back up if I were you. It's gonna do the thing it always does. And you see the Grimm kind of just do this, like, he does that, like, complaining, like he's punching the ground, like he's mad that he's losing. He almost does this jump up, and he dives back into the sand, doing what is on this sheet called burrowing ambush. So he goes completely underground, and you start seeing the sand kind of move around as you see where he is underground, kind of moving and circling around you guys like a shark almost. And at some point, he's going to like leap out of the sand, and within this,
did he leave my range?
He's circling around you, so he's kind of in and out of everyone's range here.
Okay.
He's going to leap out of the sands. And I guess the closest that would be towards them is the newcomers, which are kind of behind you guys. So, like, the newcomers are pretty much in front of you, while you're directly behind them, as the direction of the fight is turned towards the valley where they came from. He's leaping out of the sand, and he's going to do that. He's going to do, what is this? So the Revenant makes 2 claw attacks, or 1 claw attack and 1 sand blast. I think I'm going to do the 1 claw attack and the sand blast. So he's going to roll... what does it mean when it says plus 11 to hit? What does that mean?
When you roll your dice to hit someone, you add 11.
Oh, okay. All right, well, that's easy.
Like, my rifle says hit. His is like plus 9 to hit. Or my pistol is plus 9 to hit, and my lance is plus 7. Like, when I roll my dice, I add that to it.
So I'm going to roll 2 hits. I guess I'm just gonna target one of these people. So you see another kind of heavier set dude that has been accompanying the team. He also kind of looks very. He's like an older kind of guy. I would say like maybe mid 20s, closer to 30s, like 28, 29 ish. He's a much heavier set guy, but he's like a it's kind of like a tiefling faunus, honestly. He looks closer to like a tiefling than anything. You see him kind of just disoriented and wasn't exactly prepared to be jumped like that. Normally, this Grim has a particular fight pattern. These guys are used to fighting around, and this guy kind of changed things up a bit due to him being kind of angry. He's going to make his attack, which was 12 plus 11, so that hits our guy. We're going to do, for our slashing, we're going to do 3d10, which is 3 to 10, which is 11 plus 6. So he just gets this one. Oh, I have the sound. You see him kind of drop to his knees, a slashing right across his chest, ripping off his fucking armor clean off of him. He was wearing kind of like this like suit uniform, almost looks like a modified version of the uniform from Vacuo, but just very different and more suit and kind of like formal wear almost, but formal adventure kind of wear. And you see his whole attire has been ripped up, and you see this large gash across his chest. This guy kind of drops to his knees, and he's gonna do a sandblast, which do I have to roll for that? Recharge. It says recharge. So I don't know what that means. I guess that means just it happens.
It means it means that after you use it, you can't use it again. And basically,
yeah.
Sorry.
Choking on it.
At the start. Yes. At the start of its turn, it rolls a d6, and then it needs to meet or beat one of the number, because like it says recharge on a.
It says 4 out of 6 for me. For what this says.
So out of 4 to 6, it recharges. So you can use it right now, since it hasn't used it yet. So you read what it does, and it'll tell us what we have to do for it, or what you have to do for it.
Let's see. So it says the Grim exhales a violent cone of blackened sand. A 60-feet cone. Creatures must make a DC 18 dexterity save.
Okay, so it's a dex save.
Yeah, give me a dex save. I would just say the group in general, because he's doing a large sand blast that's kind of clapping, like a Hulk kind of clap. It just sends the sand at you guys.
It's 23. It's at a 60-foot cone?
60-foot cone.
Yeah, so that hits everyone.
All right.
That
23.
What is 15 plus 9?
I'm going to do a dex.
6, 7.
Okay,
16, 17,
she's good.
20, 21. 24.
And Lear's good. How about, I'm gonna do a disadvantage with this guy. Okay.
Yeah, my strength and dex are my highest saves. That's a 24 for me.
24. Okay.
Yeah.
So he claps a large cloud of sand at you, and he does another large roar, and he's gonna end his turn as he.
Wait, what did the sand cloud do?
The sand cloud, it just kind of creates this large cluster of sand that kind of gives you disadvantage on the visibility for the next, like, I'd say for the next turn.
But is that if we failed it?
Yeah, I'm confused about the deck save part. Can you read out the full thing for us? So.
Yeah, hang on.
Because I think you're missing damaging us.
It's just half damage and no blindness. So for only the only one who can see is the guy who got hit. He did not succeed, so he took half damage, which I have to do.
You have to roll damage.
I'm about to say, so roll a damage. We took half damage because we succeeded. Whoever failed, it takes full.
I believe I take no damage because of dope monk shit.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I believe it is.
I think it says 8d8. It says 8d8. I don't know if that.
So roll 8d8.
Okay. 8?
Yeah.
Wait. Oh.
8.
Okay.
8
Yeah.
Decided die.
8d8.
That's 9. Oops. Hang on. Did one too many.
Oh, evasion. Yeah. When subjected to the effects that allow you to make a dex saving throw, you
So
only take
half of
half damage on a failed
36.
save and no damage on a success. So I
Also-
take no damage.
So
'Cause I have
18 points of
evasion.
damage.
So wait, hold on. How many? Wait, what type of damage is it? Just say it.
It is necrotic.
Necrotic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was making sure.
yeah.
So was it 18 already halved or 18?
That's already
before?
half. It was 36.
Yeah,
it was divided by 2.
36, So you take 18. I take none because I'm gonna let you know this, Tony, just so it doesn't seem like I'm trying to cheat you. I believe it is monks at I believe it's like 9th level get evasion when you're subjected to a dexterity saving throw. You take half damage on a failed save and no damage on a successful one.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
So since it was a dex save, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I take no damage since I rolled a 24.
Okay, cool. All right,
Monks,
and
they get stupid shit like that.
so it's gonna go back to the top with Chris. As the sands start to clear, you are not blinded, and everyone else can pretty much see. But you notice your one comrade of the newcomers here got fucked up pretty bad by the one claw attack that he suffered there. He kind of backs up closer towards Lil's character. He kind of, just off of first glance, could tell she's kind of someone he wants to stay around. So he kind of backs towards that way, and everyone else kind of holds their ground. We can do this, guys. This thing is nothing. We fought plenty of these before.
Are its claws dug into the sand right now?
Kind of how it is in this image. Like he's like that's his like default position. She also says, she's like, aim your attacks at the frickin' skull. That's what you want to hit.
That's what I was thinking too. And then I'm gonna run. I'm gonna use another ability I have. It's just something fun I have. It's where the fuck is it? Oh, here it is. Acrobatic movement. Since I'm not wearing armor or wielding a shield, I can run vertically up surfaces and across liquids without falling.
Oh, he's like Jesus.
So I'm basically gonna
like
fucking.
Jesus.
I mean, he kind of looks like it right now.
He's like
I'm just
Jesus.
I'm just gonna
Right.
run up his fucking arm, fucking almost ninja style, but it's like more bulky ninja.
Yeah, kind of like how Ren
Like-
was running up the snake.
Yeah, and sort of like palmed his skull, flip up, and then sort of like one hand like pushing myself up, the rest of my body like as an arrow. I'm gonna slam down with my first attack.
Nice.
Let's see. Are you gonna fuck me again, Die?
He's trying to fuck me. The die fucked you, didn't it? The die
fucking
fucked you,
fucked
didn't
me.
they?
7 plus 9 is 16? No.
17.
No. 17.
Oh, that
8
hits.
plus 7 is.
No, it's 16.
No, it is 16. Yeah.
Oh, it does
16.
not hit.
Fuck. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna use my second attack. Okay, that's better. That's a dirty 20.
That hits. That hits.
Okay, that's a D. And this is fire damage, if it matters.
No, it's not. It doesn't have any immunities to fire.
Okay, but it doesn't have any resistances either.
No resistances here.
Good to know. That is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 points of fire damage and 4 points of force. Actually, it's none. The force doesn't matter. So the force matters, but it's like not. It doesn't like affect in any way. So it's 7.
Yeah, 7. Okay.
8, 9, 10. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 points of damage total.
Okay. It is hurt badly. You've punched its one of its weakest points, and you notice it's glowing
Stunning
brighter than
strike.
it did when the first couple times you were hitting it in its mask.
I'm going to stunning strike it. It's When I hit with a monk attack, with an unarmed strike or a monk weapon, I can expect. Question: does the skull count as a structure?
Um,
I'm trying to get cheeky.
let me
I'm
see.
going to say this now.
Oh.
Because my gauntlets count as siege weapons.
I would say yeah, because you'll see why in a second. So yeah, I would say
Okay,
sure.
if it counts as a structure, then then what was the damage I rolled for that attack?
16 total, you said?
16. That's actually 26, 27, 29, 31. That would actually be 32 points of damage because unarmored strikes are siege attacks with
Okay.
my gauntlets, so I deal double damage to structures.
Cool.
So that's 32 points of damage with the first attack. And
On
you said
this,
it's looking hurt?
yeah, so on this attack, I will insert a smidge cutscene here. You hit it with your mightiest blow, and it like you see a small crack in the side of its armor where a gleaming light, a beaming white light, kind of reflects out of it as it starts to separate from the body of this Grim. Where you're realizing this isn't just one Grim; it's technically two. Suddenly, it's the head of the Grim shoots out of its body like that of an armored Gygus. As you see that there are two separate Grim, as a Gygus was almost embodying that of a separate Grim Revenant that you're fighting here. So there are
So
now
is it like a
two
dice?
separate. Yes, there
Like
are
the
two.
ones like, oh god.
So now this skull is kind of hovering above in the sky here,
Am I still
shrieking
writing
at
it?
you. You're on its like shoulder now, and you see the original face beneath the skull mask, which essentially the Gygus was giving it more power to the Grim itself, giving it. So now the Revenant has lost resistance to non-magical weapon damage. The beast itself, this is now up in the sky as a separate entity you're fighting. And it's now just shrieking at you in pain as it's the skull that's like kept this intact is fractured now.
Am I still able to fucking punch the skull or no?
You can't punch the skull, but you still are on the shoulder of the beast itself with the helmet off, with the mask off of it. It's essentially just a very large Beowulf on the inside of this Revenant here.
I am going to use my I'm gonna use a flurry. Can I stunning strike the skull since I did hit with a weapon attack?
Sure.
Because hopefully that'll stop it from moving. So, let me fucking pulling his cock out.
He's pulling his cock out.
Where the fuck are my points?
Baby, wait for us. What's all about? Woo!
Okay, so stunning strike. So I need a con save, DC 15.
DC 15. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, can't see. And then what's the
You'll probably beat
14 plus -1.
Oh shit! Really?
So it's a 13, yeah.
So that fails. It is stunned for until the end of my next turn,
Okay.
which I believe means I have advantage on attacks against it, and all attacks that hit are criticals.
Can you
And
roll
we
a perception for me real quick?
Perception?
Yes,
Yeah,
while you're
sure.
writing this thing. You would see this because you're up close and personal.
Don't fucking see shit. I rolled a 2.
Roll with advantage because you're lucky right now. You're on a roll.
Okay.
You're pumped up. You got fucking testosterone right now. Like I would say, your luck kicks
That's a
in.
15.
15. You see, you're kind of like on the shoulder, like over here ish now, and right by its center chest, you almost see something like not like a heartbeat, but like almost something on the inside pushing outward from the chest, like something like it's like the chest is pumping. It almost looks like there's something on the inside punching its way out.
As the skull starts to twitch as it's not moving, I just scream, Watch the chest, something's coming out! And then I'm going to burn another focus point to do a flurry of blows, getting 3 attacks. So I'm getting 3 more attacks. Against the skull, which are at advantage. On hit, they crit, and does it still count as a structure?
Not anymore. And that applied to the skull itself.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
now that the skull is floating around, am I still attacking I said that I'm attacking the skull still, right?
If you're
you said
doing
the
it, you're doing it
skull
at range, I imagine, because you're still on the shoulder, right?
Well, no, that's why I asked, like, am I still able to hit it?
You'd have to get to it, I'd imagine, because it's up in the sky right now.
Well, also,
It's kind of floating.
Well, that's why stunning striked it, because stunning striking it would make it lose its movement. So
I thought we were
around.
I thought we were doing the beast itself. Okay.
No. Basically, that one punch that like knocked it off also was part of my stunning strike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I would say it would be stunned, and if you have, maybe you can parkour to it. Because I would say while it's floating, it has like tentacles kind of attaching off of it because it kind of ripped off the top of the beast here, so that you might even be able to grab onto that.
Yeah, I'd probably grab onto one of its twitching tentacles, and then I'm just gonna flurry of blows.
Do you want to do athletics real quick to see if you do you grab it, get onto it?
Could I do acrobatics?
Yeah, or yeah, that works.
I need to stop rolling this fucking die.
Are you rolling the same one?
Yep.
What about dice jail?
13, 14.
Yeah, put that shit in dice jail, Chris.
That would be 16.
What's wrong with rolling the same dice?
Oh, so
you
16 damage or 16 to hit?
If you roll the same dice,
or is that athletics or the?
and it goes bad.
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
Then you
you
roll
are
the
successfully
new
able
dice.
to like leap off of it and grab onto one of its tentacles, and you're able to holster your way up to the top. Almost pretty much you're riding the top of the skull now. Pause.
That's dice jail. This is my metal cup. Okay, so I'm on top, and my flurry of blows, punching down, and we said that the skull doesn't count as a structure anymore.
The skull does. The revenant. I thought you were talking about the beast here itself, but no.
No, I was talking about the
skull is a
still.
structure. Yeah, I would consider it it's hard. It's a hard skull, so I would say it's a structure because of how massive it is.
Okay, so these attacks will be advantage to hit because it's stunned, siege weapon attacks because it's a structure, and then auto crits if they land.
Okay.
So these would be dealing quadruple damage.
Okay.
Will be times 2, so squared.
Let me get some rolls, big dog.
Okay, let's use my big old die. I haven't used this one in a bit.
Big old die.
Ooh, that's nice. That is 23 to hit.
23 to hit. That definitely hits for sure.
Okie dokie. So that is a
Big die, big roll.
D8 plus a D8 plus a D4. Okay, so that is 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, need to pull up the calculator. So 4 plus 3 equals 7 times 2. What? 7 times 2, 14, and then times 2 again. 28, then it's plus 5. So that's 33 points of damage.
Okay.
The first hit slams into it as I'm now like gripping onto one of its horns.
So that was your first attack of. Oh, hello.
First attack of 3 for my flurry.
So your first attack. You do your first fury of blows, and the skull begins to shatter, almost like a gleaming, beaming fucking bright light white explodes. The fucking skull shatters in a million pieces while you're on top of it. You begin to fall. I guess give me an acrobatics to try and catch yourself.
Instead of catching myself, I'm willing to take damage to bring my momentum from falling on top of this fucking Grim Wolf.
Okay. So it's called a revenant. It just has like a head of like a Beowulf. Like this, it was essentially a Grim Gygus, like a very rare Grim that kind of combines the Gygus and a generic Grim together.
Okay, well then I will take a damage to hammer fist down on top the head of this revenant.
Okay.
So you can decide how much damage, and I don't know if I how many feet in the air was I?
I'd say you're about maybe like 20, maybe 15, 20 feet in the air, like
20 feet
above.
20 feet above the creature?
Yeah, because you see how the terrain...
Okay.
Hold on. Let me get my mouse on it. The terrain kind of goes in this, like, U-shape, so there's, like, a crater here. So I'd say you're, like, up here a ways. So you kind of just come slamming down. Kadoom!
So I don't get advantage on this attack.
You know what's funny, Tony? Remember how we said we were going to go for, like, an hour?
Yeah.
We've
That's
been
okay.
going for like
I'm having fun.
I'm not gonna. No, I'm having a great time. I just find it funny.
14 plus 9 is 23 again.
It's a hit.
14.
Yeah.
That hits.
Yeah. Since I'm taking damage, I'm assuming I'm going to take fall damage to basically not catch myself.
Yeah.
And deal extra damage.
Just do like a D4 or something if you want to do a little damage.
Well, if it's a fall damage, wouldn't it be a D6 per 10 feet?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd also take that damage.
I mean, like I said, you're a monk, so I give you a little bit more credit than, you know what I mean? Like, I'd say you have a little bit more
damage.
But monks also have slow fall. I don't know if it's all monks, but monks have slow fall, do they not?
No, monks do have slow fall. I'm actively saying I want to take the damage. Let me take the fucking damage.
Yeah, I would say just do the D4, because you're a monk. You should be able to land that no problem. Even if it, like, hurts your footsies a little bit.
Hurts your feetsies.
Yeah.
Hurts your little feet.
You also, you notice when you do land back on top of it that that pumping of its chest, of something trying to bust out of it, is getting bigger and, like, more ferocious.
So I'm gonna land on top of it like hammer, like fucking both my fists together, slamming on it.
Yeah.
I deal
like kind of like when you're trying to spike a ball in volleyball.
Yeah.
Hammer, like when you're like kind of hit bump a ball. Yeah, just coming down instead of going upwards.
Yeah, fucking double hammer fist. That is 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16 points of damage, and I'm also taking 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm taking 7 points of falling damage.
It says 16 damage for the Revenant?
Yeah, 16 points of damage and stunning strike.
Okay.
Gonna burn another key point to stunning strike it. So I need a con save from it. DC 15.
Con save, got you.
Yep.
Let's see, what's my con again? Plus... I think it was the -1.
Come.
Oh. Oh. Not 1.
Oh.
Not 1.
It is stunned.
Roll D20 for everything on place that.
It's just kind of looking down, kind of its head drooling almost.
You roll advantage, Chris, or do we? As everyone roll advantage?
Everyone rolls advantage when they're stunned. They have disadvantage. Actually, no, I think they autofill dex saves. They cannot move. They cannot use actions, bonus actions, or reactions. Attacks against them have advantage. And then all melee attacks are auto crits.
Huh.
Does that count on armed attacks?
Yeah, unarmed attacks are melee attacks.
Oh. Yeah, well that's it. Well, that's something.
All right.
Yeah, my next attack at advantage. $19.
That hits.
Okay. Ooh. 6, 7, 8. 8 times 2 is 16?
8 times.
To hit
8 times
or
2 is 6.
damage?
No, I'm doing damage. 8 times 2 is 16, correct?
Yes.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 points of damage. On the next hit as I hammer fist down, I'm on its back. And then I start to grab the fucking mouth. And I start to wrench back, trying to open it up. Or starting to try and break the jaw and tear the head off.
Yeah. You start just kind of ripping at it. It's you're starting to see it. It's just kind of like skin is starting to shred. Like this thing is on its last leg here. If you got any, I don't know if it's your last ability or if there's anything more you want to do before the next turn.
Well, that was my 3 attacks. That was the end of my 3rd attack. I
Okay.
have no free actions other than I can use uncanny metabolism. Which allows me, but that only works when I'm rolling initiative. I can regain all my expended focus points and regain one.
It's uncanny metabolism.
Uncanny metabolism. Sorry.
No, I was just saying because I read it myself.
Yeah, and it's a fun ability. It's fun. But other than that, I got nothing. That is I'm just going to continue to keep a good grip on its fucking on
Wait,
its
question:
nose
is
and
one
upper half
is one of them
its jaw.
dead?
Yeah, I killed it.
I'm not gonna lie, I zoned out because I loaded up Azurlane for a little bit because they're doing a crossover with Data Live and I realized it started the day, so I loaded that up and I zoned out. But I just want to make sure one of them is dead.
Yeah, I essentially blew up the fucking flying head and then using that momentum fucking double hammer fisted onto the other half of it.
Nice. It is.
And I'm now just fucking riding it.
It is now Cecilia's turn.
I was about to say, do you want to let me go as the player since I know it's technically the AI's turn. It's the one dude's turn. I don't know which one of them it is.
Hang on, let me go back.
Male
the male fighter. He's just gonna do a light. I'm just gonna roll, see if he does anything, if he even hits. Because if he doesn't hit, I'm not gonna do anything with him. He doesn't hit, so he kind of just same dude, fucking. Die, you fiendish fiend! I will eat your children.
Jeez,
It's like, boss, that is so out of pocket. We're in public.
I think I'm just gonna scream as I'm riding it. Get better aim, you fucking noob!
I'm trying. You see how far away I'm working with?
Get closer!
I got sand in my eyes. His cores are rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Yes.
So, didn't you say something was pulsing? Was that crazy?
You see like something is pulsing out of its chest, and you almost start to see like something stabbing out of it at this point, like a sword is going in and out of its chest, and it's slowly taking damage over time as these attacks have been happening.
So what I'm gonna do is Cecilia pulls the ice rounds out of her sniper. She flips the trunk back open, tosses them in, and pulls out the fire ones, and then loads them in. And since am I rolling with advantage, Chris? Because it's still stunned.
Are you making a melee attack or a ranged attack?
Ranged attack. That's why I'm asking.
Oh wait, all attacks are at advantage. All attacks are at advantage, but melee attacks do crits.
Okay, so I'm not taking a melee hit. I'm just asking if I'm rolling to hit with advantage.
You are rolling to hit with advantage because it's stunned until the end of my turn.
Okay,
so
my next 5
turn.
and a 19 is 19. So I'm assuming both these hit because I rolled a 19 and that's +9, but I also rolled a nat 20.
They both hit, yeah.
I rolled a nat 20, so I pulled my transdice out of the fucking
Nice. And where are you firing?
I am gonna fire. I'm gonna take one shot at its stomach, and then Chris, you're pulling its mouth open, right?
Yeah, I'm wrenching on its nose and the top jaw.
Because I'm gonna fire right where Chris is pulling the mouth open.
Okay.
So So one of my attacks is a crit. I want that to be known. So that's 4d8. I'm assuming if are we doubling dice or are we just doubling the last hit, like the last number?
I thought it was last number.
That's what I'm asking.
I was doing last.
Are we doing last number?
Yeah, the final. Yeah, the final number
Okay,
at the end of the. Yeah.
First one isn't crit, so that's 9 for the first one. 9 damage for the first one.
Okay.
And then 12. So 39 damage in total.
All right. So your first shots fire at its chest, right around the area where you see like something pulsing out of it.
Because I switched the rounds to fire.
Yeah.
Rounds.
Whatever your shots must have did, it must have weakened that area around the chest area there, and you see emerging. Hang on. 1 second. Where is he?
Waiting.
Skadoosh.
Skadoosh.
You see emerging out of the chest, kind of like just bursting out, like almost like the alien from Aliens, just flying out of its stomach. He just lands flat on his face. You notice, you recognize right away, based off his beat up armor, same as you seen from last time years ago, your old buddy Grimlock has emerged from the monster. He was eaten. He must have been in there for some time. Darkness, the flames. Oh.
Hey, buddy. We'll talk later. Don't want to ask. I really want to figure out how this happened, but we'll ask later.
And he just passes out, just flat on his face. You see his aura drop completely.
Before he goes unconscious, you just see like fucking almost like the visage of a devil as Lucas is like actively pulling the top half of this creature's head off.
Yeah.
Did I kill it, by the way? Because I shot 2 shots. I took one in the stomach and one in the mouth.
This thing is most certainly dead. Yeah.
I shot fire right in its fucking mouth.
So do I rip the head off? Do I finally get to rip the like top of the skull?
You do a classic Ruby pose, like in the fucking first trailer where Ruby's ripping the head off of the giant bird. You rip it clean off, and you have this nice silhouetting pose among the sunlight at the perfect hour of fucking sun. The shot here where the sun's in the background. You look glorious as the head flies off the creature and it dissolves into nothingness, and you land perfectly on your feet.
I'm still gripping onto the top of the skull.
Yeah. What's left of it?
So, after everything, you see Cecilia she clicks the button on her rifle and puts it back into pistol form and puts it right back in her pocket, in her holster.
Yeah.
And first thing she does is, I'm gonna roll for my semblance, because I'm gonna stitch up this guy's wound.
Lucas is like
24 to use the vines to stitch up this guy's wound.
You start kind of tying up his wounds, but the more you work on it, his wounds are too deep, and you see his consciousness is slowly fading. Despite what you can do, you don't think he's going to make it. You can try. You may certainly try.
Can I cast Cure Wounds?
Go ahead.
So that's 2d8 plus 2 heal.
Lucas is just like in the background fucking like pulverizing the like corpse of this until it starts to melt. So it's like, even though the fight's over, he's still fucking punching the shit. Like he's in like total like shell shock, like fucking.
Ooh, actually, though,
he's in the middle of war.
I do want to do this.
17.
You do go in to use Cure Wounds, but before you're able, I'm assuming it's the one that you have to touch somebody else to do it, or
yeah. Before
you're able to touch him, he kind of grabs onto your wrist softly. He kind of shakes his head no, like you look deep at his wounds, and there's just blood coming out despite the vines and what you do. There's just so much blood coming out of him after that first gash. It's not worth it. I am not worth saving.
I don't care. Every life is worth something. As you see her kind of like, so Now, mind you, she is one of the only people in Remnant who can use her semblance without her aura. Because technically her semblance, while it does trigger from her aura, it also triggers from her body itself.
Yeah, it's of her
you
life
see
force.
her kind of eyes, so you see her eyes kind of like start pulsating more like of a reddish blue, and you see the vines start to come out faster of her wrist, and she's not stopping even because. So what happens is the vines kind of grab onto his wrist and pull it off of hers, and you see the vines coming out of her other hand start to go faster, and like they just keep trying to patch up what's there.
So as you said you're patching him?
I'm doing the vines are working. Her vines are working double time to stitch back up what was there. This is basically a part of her. This is like a big part of her semblance that she can do.
You see, it's holding, and you can feel kind of his life fluctuating. He's fading. He's looking around frantically. He can't keep a solid focus, and it's looking really rough for him. Honestly, and like I said, I know.
It's up to you. That's why
I know you're.
I have contingencies for both things. If it doesn't work, or if it does work, I have lines for both.
Well, quite frankly, I'd say despite your heals, it's almost his aura can't contain his body no more. His body is rejecting his life essence as it's draining, and he kind of just grabs onto your wrist like in like almost like a warrior's like kind of embrace, and he says, he kind of whispers up, trying to mutter words out of his mouth. He says, "Protect them."
What in the Baldur's Gate is this? What in the Baldur's Gate? This reminds me of the siblings.
He says, spitting out blood, "Leave a path for those." And he's gone.
You kind of see her, like, her hands are twitching, because, so as her semblance tries to reel itself back in, like, as, like, the vines kind of try to reel themselves back into her wrist.
Yeah.
You see her hand twitching, and she's, like, so her eyes, like I said, so her eyes are normally blue, but when she triggers her semblance in somewhat of an overclocking kind of way, her eyes kind of start pulsing back and forth from blue to red.
Yeah.
Because her whole entire semblance color and her aura color is red.
Yeah.
So you see her her eyes start pulsing back and forth as she's trying to keep her semblance under control, and it stops. Like the vines kind of just stop moving as they kind of reel back into her hands, and she kind of like just puts her hand on her face. She's like, "I made a promise not to lose anyone, whether they're new or whether they're..." Oh, I already failed that.
You're looking at your hands that have his blood on them, and you're almost like you're feeling like your heartbeat kind of, you can hear it in your head almost, kind of the way the song is playing it, and you're just kind of in shock at this moment. But then you look up and the storms are starting to settle in, almost a very large, like fast moving 80-mile-an-hour storm coming this direction.
She looks over.
Oh, sorry.
So she looks at the storm. She looks at everyone else. Did we ever agree with the fact that she was kind of like the second in command leader, kind of like how Weiss is for Ruby?
Yeah.
So she looks over. She's like, "I don't care who your leader is." She points at Grimlock. Just pick him up, get him in the truck, and everyone in. And without really thinking.
You see the other guy with the nice mustache, the leader of the other two, and the one here who sadly didn't survive. He says to him softly, "We have to go." He kind of grabs on to the girl who's kind of crying over the body. She goes, Okay.
Wait.
He would want us to keep going.
So who died? Was it our friend or was it?
This
It
was
was
the
the
other guy,
guy-
yeah.
It was the guy from the
Okay.
other team that got us. That got
And you also
us.
have Grimlock, who is on the ground, passed out as well, who emerged from the
Okay.
monster.
I'm gonna grab Grimlock and I'm going to look over at their. I'm gonna look over at the two that are still alive and I'm gonna go. You can mourn later. Now we move. If they loved you the way you think they do, they wouldn't want you to die here. Shut the fuck up, lock your fucking emotions away, and get the fuck in the goddamn Jeep.
I like this one. He's right. Grab your gear. Let's go. Val,
You see,
let's go. Okay.
And I'm like just carrying on one shoulder fucking Grimlock, and then I look over to them. Do you want me to carry your friend?
She goes, I'll help you.
He picks the dude up one hand, puts him on the other shoulder, and then walks towards the fucking Jeep.
All right. She helps
Not
you.
needing any help.
Yeah.
He is.
Cecilia's
Lucas is
kind of-
ripped.
Cecilia you saw her kind of like, she doesn't ever actually open the door to the warthog. You see her always just kind of hop in through the fact that there's no windows. She kind of just like slides in through the window like a Saints Row kind of jump in the car.
Lucas is gonna put the dead body and Grimlock in the back, in like the trunk area with him where he normally sits. And he's just gonna sit there. And he's just gonna grip the side of the warthog, and I definitely CC
Later,
is
Jeff.
hearing her
Later, Jeff.
fucking warthog's like the side of her warthog like crunch as his grip gets tighter unknowingly to himself.
Yeah. You guys start driving towards the direction of the base. Not far now. You actually have an old clicker. I would say you start kind of working on it to make sure it's still got enough D batteries functioning that can activate the secret door to the passage as you're rolling
Why the fuck
through.
did we use D batteries?
Why? I was like, why D batteries of all things? Oh my god. But Cecilia, she kind of just, you can see her hands kind of pulsing on the wheel, like twitching still on the wheel. Every time like she tries to grip the wheel more, but like she can hold the wheel, not the hand. But you kind of see her like every time she tries to like tighten her grip more, it like her hand twitches and it loosens like a little bit more.
Yeah.
And she hasn't said a word since we started driving.
I'm just gonna look over at like the two other passengers. I don't care to remember their names.
Well, they didn't really
Lucas
give them to
doesn't.
you yet. They didn't say their names yet.
Yeah.
They just kind of
Lucas
joined the
just-
battle with you.
Lucas just goes, so, what provisions do you have on hand?
Not much. We were separated from our original party. We were.
Any liquor?
In fact, we do. Silas used to carry. He always was prepared. He hands you a small little flask, silver flask, with what's left of their share of booze.
He's gonna like dig around for like a few glasses, or like shot glasses, I guess. I'm assuming Gray's just always prepared, so she just has shot glasses in her back trunk.
I mean, she does. She has a lot of
They
things
might-
in the trunk
You,
of her
you
car.
check the trunk
I
and
think they
you
might-
see a crate of them in the back, but most of them are shattered from the amount of fucking flailing around.
You're very bad at handling glassware, aren't you?
She doesn't respond. But you very well still see her hands kind of twitching on the wheel.
He's gonna grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's gonna grab 6 shot glasses, and he's gonna pour a shot for everyone.
Cecilia kind of looks back. You can drink mine. It's just like in like a monotone, more no voice.
And then he looks back at you. You healed me. I'll heal you. Fucking drink.
She
And-
doesn't drink. That's the other point. She doesn't drink. That's why I was saying that.
He
She doesn't drink.
He pours all the glasses. He's going to put yours on the dashboard in front of you. He's going to dish out each a glass to everyone else. And he's going to hand an extra glass to the guy who, who reminisced about his friend. And then he's going to put one glass in front of Grimlock, passed out. And he's going to take the first shot and go, to those who are with us and those we have lost, may they always be in our hearts, mind, and in our spirits.
I will toast to that.
And then
Kind of hear quietly from the front seat, and you just hear to those who come after.
those who come after.
He takes a swig. The other guy. He takes a soft swig of his drink before staring at it for a few moments of lingering. I'm still going. Hang on. He looks at it for a lingering moment, sharing a thought memory that he had, and he just kind of turns and he just starts sobbing in his coat, trying to hide it from the others, but it's really hard not to hide that shit. And he's just fucking sobbing.
And I just rest my hand. I take my gloves off and rest my hand on his shoulder, my 3-fingered hand, and goes, loss is just a part of life. The only way we can get through it is by acknowledging it happens and being prepared to make sure it doesn't happen again by any means. Your drink is for you. His drink is for the earth. Let him drink in the gates of Valhalla.
Amen. Amen. And he kind of just embraces you in a kind of brotherly hug, if you accept it.
He accepts it, understanding loss.
And he's just kind of sobbing in your neck right now, like, just uncontrollably.
I hold him there until a time in which he feels more composed.
He gathers his composure shortly after, and he looks at you, just kind of like looks back and forth at, left and right at both of your eyes individually, just kind of looking at you with a understanding kind of stare, and he says, "You're a good man."
No, I'm not. I'm a strong man. I'm a deadly man. I'm a useful man, but I am not good. Good men die. Monsters live longer than they should.
He kind of shakes his head, understanding, and holds out his hand to shake yours. He says, "You can call me Turf."
He wraps his 3 fingers around his hand. Still a little shaky, interacting with this claw, he calls it. I go by many names, but you can just call me Lucas.
It's an honor to meet your acquaintance, Lucas. I wish it were on better terms, of course. That is my comrade, Valerie. We've been out here for some time. And you guys are still just kind of driving through this storm. You're eventually coming up on a small cave that would be the entrance to the old outpost that you guys used to share.
I think after the introductions, Lucas will sit back down in the back and he will let the silence rest, knowing that sometimes speaking is not what is needed after tragedy.
Yeah.
Sometimes you must sit and feel quietly. As he just grips his right hand, feeling his 2 fingers, even though they are missing, and thinking back to why they are missing, and why he doesn't like to work with others. looking at the corpse in the back seat. Stupid man who thought he could be a hero, knowing that only monsters get to live long enough to regret their choices. Heroes die young. And he resents him, for he wished he died long ago, but still lives. And he sits there quietly, thinking.
And you guys arrive at the old outpost, clicking the button. Thank God those D batteries held through, and it opens the gate to the hidden passageway. And you were able to get in and safely park in the old Team Scarlet garage. This base is a very, I don't have a picture for it just yet. I'll have one next time. It is a just small outpost. Everyone has pretty much their own sort of quarters and a bit of a medical bay and a main command room, and the garage area as kind of part. It's a very small room, pretty much just enough for you guys to all kind of correspond in. You guys eventually make it through unharmed from the storm. Little, beaten up from the weather and all that. You guys are pretty much exhausted at this point. You all kind of get through. Grimlock is still passed out. He's probably going to need medical assistance because he's been in that thing for as long as he could probably know at this point. He's definitely got to be exhausted and dehydrated and
digested.
And his fucking aura has been stripped to nothing, so he's definitely got some injuries to attend to.
So what Cecilia does is you see her kind of hops out of the car. She has Cersei kind of park it for her.
Yeah.
She looks back at Lucas, or she looks at her Lucky. She's like, I'm going up to the medical bay. Bring Grimlock up when you get the chance. As you see her just continue, like, she kind of ignores everything else and walks. Like, she has like a one-track mind kind of right now.
Lucas clocks it and goes, always happy to help you, good doctor. And he honestly grabs Grimlock by the scruff of his neck and just like drags his feet as he like sort of drags him over, just shaking him a little bit.
Toaster strudels.
Fucking toaster.
Just fucking knocked out.
He just looks at him, and a grin, something that he doesn't often have except when he's fighting, curls across his face. Fucking idiot. And he just drags him to the medical bay.
Nice.
And just fucking plops him on the bed. Not even going to interact with Cece, knowing she needs some space to do her job.
That's the biggest thing about, so like, why you're kind of, the one small thing you notice in the corner of your eyes when you go to put him down in the bed is see her reorganizing the medical cabinets that she has in there, because since they haven't been used in a while, her first thought in her head is just to reorganize everything. But when you go to leave, the first thing you realize is how she's washing her hands. You're just kind of scratching and clawing at and like kind of trying to scrub her hands while she's washing them to get the blood off of her hands. But you also still see them like twitching in the sink.
I think he's going to, not saying a word, as you're just like insistently scrubbing your hands, he's just going to put his claw on your shoulder. Say nothing. Knock his head against yours in a understanding manner. And then walk out.
You kind of see her like, well, now that gone, but like what she does is after she finally like kind of fully like hands all like scrubbed, she kind of cut herself a little bit with her nails because she has longer nails like most people. Kind of scratched herself a bunch on her hands, She looks at him. She's like, I already failed my mission. As she just starts going to work to try to give Grimlock a full checkup. You see her kind of start to take off the armor plates off of his body, not his clothes, but his actual pieces of armor that he still has on, and that includes his helmet. So you kind of see her taking off pieces of armor and setting them aside very neatly. And what does she see when she kind of starts disengaging his armor off of his body?
And you're doing this to Grimlock?
Yep, because after Lucky left, after she kind of finally washed her hands and to the best of her ability, and Lucky left, she kind of took a second and she went into full blown doctor mode.
Yeah.
So her first interaction was take all of his armor off of him, so that way he's not.
You see that he's pretty messed up beneath the armor. He had been sitting in there boiling for some time. You can see above from his waist down, almost from his upper chest, you see his arms, seem like they're kind of fine from where he was, almost like he was hanging on to something in there, because he was literally almost dangling in, pretty much acid inside of the fucking creature. You see his body has suffered many acid burns and just scarring, and he's really just fucked up from, and just prior to that, just the attack prior to that, he has scratches and he's pretty banged up. And he obviously had been there for a while. His stomach is very shrunken down, like he hadn't eaten in some time.
So for herself, so what she does first thing is she goes back over to the sink with a towel and kind of gets a cold one, because if he was overheated, she wants to first kind of cool his body down as much as she can. So you kind of see her kind of bring out a cold towel, put it on his forehead, and even though her hands are still twitching from using her semblance beforehand, you see the vines kind of she pulls her sleeves up, and you see the vines kind of sprout from her wrists, and they start kind of patching up the cuts and bruises the cuts on his arms, his legs has. And then she rolls her sleeves back up. She's like, a lot longer. And so the only thing people really realize is they just hear kind of moving around and grabbing different stuff out of cabinets from the medical bay all night, basically.
Yeah.
So because she rests, but for most of the night they just hear kind of moving and kind of walking around in the medical bay.
Yeah. You see the other two newcomers, Valerie and Turf, kind of sitting around in the room, just, Valerie kind of adjusting her gear and just not really, hasn't said a word since. And there is a small sort of kitchen area. Turf thought it'd be fitting to make everybody fresh coffees from what's left behind of the base, and made everybody, drinks to warm up, just to kind of, as a...
I get it.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Tony, I don't think I ever asked this. What for my draconic, my dragon form, what did we agree on, an adult dragon or an ancient dragon, or are we going with a young dragon?
I'd imagine young, because you're young.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're still large creatures. I mean, I still can't use it yet, but it's good to know I have that access to that. Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
So let me start this.
We good? What else are we doing? What's happening?
This is now a point where this is pretty much our camp, where you guys can unwind and continue sharing dialogue with your peoples, and we're winding down at this point.
I think Lucas went back to his old room and he sees one picture on the wall, the picture of him and Marigold.
May is her
May.
first name. Her name is May Marigold.
I know, May. He refuses to call her May anymore. He calls her Marigold or Miss Marigold. But he sees it, and not even with his gloved fist, he punches the fucking picture, busting a hole through the wall.
You see,
Is like
you see Turf, who kind of stood by. You kind of forgot to shut your door. He's just kind of holding two coffees in his hand. Not instead of word, he's like, He kind of like hands his. He's like, "You want this?"
He looks back and like as Lucas breathes out, you just see fucking smoke, steam.
I'm just gonna leave this here on your table.
As blood starts to drip down his arm.
Just gonna put that there. And he just kind of slowly shuts the door. Just leaves the coffee on your little desk there.
And he pulls his fist out, and then blinks for a second, immediately grabs the picture, and tries to, like, fucking straighten it out, and he's like... And he folds it, and folds it, and folds it. And he looks for a small corner by where the bed... by, like, the underside of the bed. And he opens a hidden, like, sort of drawer with a small little box in it. And he pulls the box out, opens it, and there are a few gold pieces, some buttons, a few stink bombs that he didn't use yet. Puts the picture in. And on top, and carved into the box, on the lid, gold doesn't mean perfect. It means shining despite the pain and darkness. And he slams and he closes it, breathes heavily, and locks it once more, putting it back into the alcove where he then seals the wooden panel that hides the false bottom, false like floor.
Nice.
He breathes.
Oh, sorry. No, go ahead.
He breathes in and out, and then goes to. We have a sparring room, right? We have like a training room.
I'll throw a training room in there. Yeah, I'd say there's a training room. It's a small one. Nothing crazy.
His hand is still fucking bleeding. Like he fucking cut his hand up bad, and he's not even caring. Like his hand is like almost, his arm is like got blood dripping down it, and he just takes his pipe, lights it, walks down to the training room, and just starts boxing. Doing like combinations and training, and that's where he sits for hours and hours. He doesn't eat. He doesn't drink. He just fights and fights and fights. Until eventually his body gives out, and he falls asleep in the corner of the room.
So
that's where he ends.
I'm gonna go kind of back to myself. So after Cecilia kind of got Grimlock to the point where he's stable and he's able to just kind of relax for a bit, you hear kind of like her sigh, like a relief, not somewhat relief, but somewhat just like tiredness. And you see her kind of finally stand back up and walk out the door, like to the medical bay. And she looks over.
She actually, when you enter that room, you do see who you heard the name uttered from one of the others, Silas, the guy who unfortunately didn't make it. You see Val standing, he's on one of the beds as he's not alive, She's just kind of holding his hand, looking down solemnly, just kind of sad.
You kind of see her. Uh,
I think I
Val
have an
kind of
image for
hears.
her too.
She kind of hears footsteps, kind of, because the thing is with her, she has like boot heels, kind of,
Yeah.
where like they're heels, but they're combat heels in a way.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of hear the click of the combat, like the heavy click of the heels,
Yeah.
and as she kind of walks up next to her, you see her kind of pull out she kind of made a rose with her semblance again, and you see her kind of like just place it right on his chest, and she she kind of like looks away towards the door, but says it to Val. She's like, "Sorry, I broke my own goal. My goal was to not let people die on my watch, and this is what happens in return. I'm sorry, you guys joined to help us, and now this is what happens."
Thank you for trying. You did all you could.
It's my job as a doctor.
Silas was a warrior at heart. And, I mean, we all looked up to him in that way when it was, getting through a fight, and he wasn't the best fighter, but he was reckless and stupid and funny and one of my best friends. I'm gonna miss him too. But he died a warrior's death, and for that will never be forgotten. I just wish it were me instead of him. She kind of sits down, just kind of reflecting on herself at the same time.
She kind of like chuckles a little bit. She's like, "Let me show you something." And she kind of like, she puts her hand out and kind of, she's like, "Don't worry, I'll bring you right back." And she kind of like takes her hand and kind of brings her to her own bedroom, where Cecilia's room in the place had pictures, because when she was younger, even though she was still a doctor, she was a really big photo taker.
Yeah.
So she kind of followed. Yeah, no, that's exactly where I got it from. She was a big photo taker when she was younger. So she kind of pulls her into the room that's hers, and she grabs the first so she has a picture of their first year side by side. Has the picture is like framed kind of in like a split way. It's a picture of Team Scarlet their first year, and then Team Scarlet their graduation.
She instantly lights up, and she points to the girl in red armor on that picture. Scarlet. Wait a minute. You're Team Scarlet?
Yeah, Scarlet's the leader. That's why we were on our way out here.
You're the ones we were set out to find.
You were set out to find us?
It's gonna sound crazy, but Scarlet's kind of our boss. She...
What did she get up to while we were gone?
Oh, man. You got a lot to catch up on, huh?
Well, I mean, when you're locked at Shade Academy, being the nurse of that godforsaken school.
Well, she trained me.
Those kids are reckless.
She helped me out when I was in a bind.
Wait, is this her, by the way?
Huh? This is
her.
her. Yeah, this is Val.
Okay.
She said, like I said, you see she's got, this kind of expeditionist sort of attire. And in fact, Turf has a very similar outfit, just different kind of color scheme, but the cape is all kind of the same. They have this like sandy adventurer kind of cape thing going on. She trained me. She saw something in me that I didn't see. And I wasn't always the best kid. Now you start to realize more why you recognize her. And you recognize her from the wanted posters you saw occasionally around Vacuo when there were kind of when Roman Torchwick would make his rounds across Remnant's kingdoms, robbing and things. She says, oh my god, not the music I was expecting. Why won't it stay on loop, damn it?
That's Skyrim music?
No. There we go. She says, I was a hotshot in my days. I didn't get along with people really, and then I met a man who promised me he could make me rich, and I fell for his schemes. And when Roman left me out to dry, I was in prison for some time, and I knew I deserved it. But Scarlet came by, and I guess she knew I could do better. And at the end of the day, she told me something I think I would never forget. It almost brings her to tears. She said, Scarlet doesn't really care where you came from. She cares what you do when a life is on the line. And
Well, that's the motto Team Scarlet lived by.
Yep.
We all lived by it for her. Why do you think I'm still at Why do you still think I'm at Shade Academy?
yeah.
Because if I leave, they're not. The kids over there aren't gonna be able to do crazy stuff and come back and be fine.
Yeah.
You are
It's-
so lucky Lucas is not in this room.
She looks at these pictures and she says, she seems different here.
Well, she was always a bit weird. Well, we're all weird, aren't we?
But that
She was
face she puts on, it's the same face I always see. She points at one of
That's
the
not her real.
photos, kind of like a photo from one of the tournaments you guys did, and she
Yeah.
had that same brave leader look she always has. And she goes, that's the look I remember.
She kind of like laughs a little bit. She's like, "Oh, trust me. She has a front that she puts up. It's not her actual. It's not her actual thoughts that come through on her face. Don't know exactly what, but I can promise you, there is more to her than it seems."
Well, it's kind of why she does what she does now. She's brought in people from all kinds to what we call the exhibitionist, where some of them veterans, some kids trying to prove something,
Hey, kids
and
are exhibitionists?
even
I think he's trying to say expeditionist. I think is what.
expeditionist.
Yeah, like
Sorry,
the-
I keep flubbing.
Those are two
Expedition-
different things.
expeditioners is probably your better
Yeah.
idea for that. The word expeditioners.
Yeah,
We don't want kids being exhibitionists.
Shut the fuck up, Chris.
exhibition.
God
That's
damn it.
crazy. She says even a few folks with rougher histories, because she understands, I think more than anybody, that
That
she saw something in, well, the rest of us that I can't describe. What I'm trying to say is Scarlet means a lot to a lot of us. We probably all wouldn't be here if it weren't for her.
well, let's make sure we all get back to it, yeah.
Oh, and I forgot. She wanted me to give this to you. And hang on, I have an image for it too. Where is it?
It's a knife.
No!
No.
Oh my god, I haven't used this tarot card in a minute. Let me see if I can find it here.
Oh God.
It's one of
One
the
of
old
original
tarot
cards.
Yeah.
Oh God. Holy.
Just need to figure
Oh,
out
geez.
exactly. I hope I still have it. I have them all
That is a physical
digitally
thing.
somewhere. I'm just trying to find the items. I need the items. Oh,
I'm waiting for Lil's character to find fucking Lucas passed out, fucking his hand in a pool of his own blood, just blood like sort of almost halfway up his arm.
man,
and fucking
oh
the
man.
punching bag
I
is
found
just
it.
covered in blood.
I found it,
God, now I'm
boys.
curious.
Y'all haven't seen this in a minute. Y'all have seen this before.
Yo.
Oh, that's cool.
So since it's not an Artemis timeline anymore, the new timeline, there is another amulet. The one that is the key to everything. This amulet glows whenever you are close to and or nearby everyone on the team. And the only one that isn't glowing at its brightest at the current moment is Scarlet's, as everyone is close by.
So Scarlet is represented by red. I'm assuming Lucas is represented by orange.
Yeah, and I figured Cecilia
Well, the colors aren't exact anymore because
Well, yeah, they were for the other team, but I figure these colors still matched what I wanted.
the color scheme was supposed to originally it was Glacio. I think it was Jade was blue, Glacio was white, Talon was red, and
I figured Grimlock would be white because of this armor color, but if you wanted white, I would easily take blue as well.
I was gonna say white purely because her outfit and all her element colors around white and red.
And see, it's like me. I say orange because fire.
Yeah,
I'm a gold fucking dragon.
that makes sense.
She kind of like looks at it. She's like, she kind of like holds it up for a minute. It's like, this is thing. Why are only 3 of the lights?
Well, that's because she's a little farther than most people normally would be. See, not many people come out this far in Vacuo's desert. In fact, not many at all ever return. Especially when you go beyond, well,
Plus Ultra?
the unknown regions of
Go
Remnant.
beyond plus ultra.
She also kind of pulls out a map out of her bag. I've been mapping this out quite often, and it's just like they say in the pamphlets. They leave a path for those who come after, and for a long time across Remnant's history, people have ventured into the unknown regions, but none have ever returned. But for the first time in Remnant's history, someone has returned. That someone was Scarlet. And she's mapped out much more than I think we ever could on our own out there. A lot of us over the years, my ancestors, my fathers, they were also expeditioners.
Expeditioners.
I'm sorry.
Family of exhibitionists.
Expeditioners.
Family.
I know. Expeditioners.
Yeah.
Many have gone out to venture out into the darkness where the deepest, darkest pits of the Grim, where they come from, where the Grim kingdom lies out in the unknown regions. They've been going out there across Remnant's history hoping to find an end to the Grim, to bring peace to Remnant.
Wow,
and
I'm sorry to cut you off. This really is just Expedition 33.
Kinda. I took inspiration from it for sure.
My thing in my head is like, oh, it's like all the expeditions that have gone to try to kill the paintress, so it stops the Gomage.
Pretty much.
Funny, I have not touched that game in a bit. I re-downloaded it and I have not touched it since.
I plan on playing tomorrow. When I'm going.
I'm meeting up with Cora tomorrow because we are going to my buddy.
Well, yeah, you're going to their concert.
Yeah, well, it's not really. We're going to my buddy. We're going to support my buddy's concert.
Nice.
Because my buddy's in a fucking death metal band, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'll join you." Fuck, I didn't get the earplugs.
But,
we can buy him. We can buy him there. It's fine.
Anyway.
Yeah, go back to. I'm sorry, I cut you off. Sorry.
No, she pretty much was finished. She just kind of finishes off with, for as long as I can remember, a lot of people I knew went in because they really had nothing left to go back to, and I guess that's kind of why I wanted to be part of the expedition, because there wasn't anything left for me in Remnant. I thought maybe finding some purpose beyond the unknown would help everyone else, especially after everything I've done. Scarlet believed in that, and I want to do right by. She believed in me, you know? And so that's the end of her spiel.
Yeah.
Lucas is passed out in the training room.
You hear
So
a knock knock on the door. I'll get to that when Will's done.
so she kind of looks, and you see her make two kind of little kind of flowers out of her hand. They're not the same ones that she's been giving people who have died, or like the one that she put on the gravestones earlier before. You see her kind of take them out. She's like, well, I don't know if you guys are planning on coming with us, but on the off chance you don't, she gives them what they. I sent a picture of it into the chat. She's like, these
damn
are
it.
what are called. These are what are called Blake Blooms. They indicate that you know who I am. That if whenever you find yourself in need of a doctor, or you have someone else who you need to send to doctors, give them this, or tell them you know me, and then they send them my way. These are also, if you ever need me, or if you ever find yourself at Shade, that in need of a doctor's attention, my apprentice Yuna will be ready and willing to help. She's within reach for you.
Thank you. Since we're probably in the worst parts of the desert, I can't see us splitting up anytime soon.
Not
And
smart, but
there was a larger crew sent out here as well, hoping that Team Scarlet received the call. And it looks like you guys did.
she pulls out her old scroll and she kind of like presses the button to open the message. She's like, that girl. As you hear the message from that she got initially starts playing, and then she scrolls. She's like, I haven't used this thing in years. To be honest, the fact that it still works and I received it is mind blowing.
She goes, well, I don't know what happened to the others. I don't know if the Grim got to them. I don't know where our other platoon went, but I know there's other expeditionists out there.
Cecilia kind of like thinks for a minute. She's like, do they by chance? So she kind of like thinks about Grimlock. She's like, do they by chance wear similar helmets, Scarlet and Grimlock?
Most of them do, yes. We've kind of uniformed a bit, and well, there hasn't been a solid expedition in some time. We know Scarlet was the last one to venture out there into the unknown regions because of her unique semblance. It's part of why she's been the only one in Remnant history to map out anything beyond what no one knows. I mean, every single person on Remnant who's beyond, the unknown regions have never returned, not once in history. At least nothing documented. And she's working on one final book. That's really all I knew from the last time I saw her.
She's like, she kind of like thinks, she's like, well, I do know that we ended up running into some of those helmets, I should say, on our way here. Whether or not they were your comrades or not, I don't. I hope it wasn't, but on the off chance it was, I apologize.
Thank you. I know this is all a lot, and I know you guys would probably rather be somewhere else right now, but this work that we've set out to do, it really does mean a lot. And I know from talking to a lot of people in my travels that the trails we've left behind, the research into the Badlands, the places that's the most dangerous in Vacuo, it's gone a long way. It really has.
She's like, well, as like she kind of turns to start walking towards the door. Let's make sure it keeps going.
She kind of smiles. She goes, "Okay."
Also, I want this to be known
And
since
they both will join your party now.
I want this to be known since like the base isn't at that big and it's kind of echoey. I want this to be known that she heard Lucky fucking break the punching bag a while ago. She just hasn't decided to go do anything about it yet.
He didn't break the punching bag. He put a hole in his wall.
There's like a ventilation shaft. There is like a ventilation shaft connected to some of these rooms that pretty much most of the conversation probably could have been heard if he was paying attention or cared enough to hear anything. Yeah.
She also kind of, so as they walk out the door, does she run into Turf out the door?
You see Turf kind of in the main common area. I was gonna say in the training room, you see leaning up against the wall by the main door, she's staring at Lucky. Sleeping on the job.
She looks over his shoulder. How tall is he, by the way?
This isn't Turf, by the way.
Oh, who is it?
This is also like in Chris's main area there. Turf is in the inside. You see Grimlock has already come to and stubbornly gotten up, even though he should probably be resting, and he's kind of in the training room trying to talk to Lucky.
Oh, I just realized something. So Cecilia, as she like goes to walk back to she sees the door of the medical bay open. Considering the fact that she closed the door when she left, she's like, wait a minute. As you see her kind of look in, she's like, as you see her, she like parkours over the railing and lands on her feet. She's like, Grimlock, what are you doing?
Well, you know me. I'm not one for hospitals.
Yes, but you're in my hospital room. There's only one here.
Well, not anymore. I'm not.
You need to be, though. That's my point. I know you don't like them, but otherwise you're going to hurt yourself. As she looks over his shoulder and sees Lucky, she's like, and you!
He's asleep.
No, she doesn't expect him to wake up. She doesn't expect him to wake up.
Sleeping on
His
the
hand
job.
is like, his hand is sitting in a pool of his own blood,
Jesus.
and there's blood that's like trailed into the room, and blood all over the punching bag. As
I have a clip I want to send him.
Fucking wrecked.
Hold up, if I can find this clip, I want to show it to Chris because this is pretty much what he's doing. Continue though.
She sighs. She walks over to Lucky, and you see her kind of. So she kind of has Cersei kind of quite literally as a part of her armor, and you see her kind of armor kind of flare up a little bit, and she like kind of starts trying to pick up Lucky, not like pick him up, like pull him up enough.
This is kind of what he's doing.
Yep, exactly.
Literally that.
That's exactly what Lucky was doing.
He's doing it more in the clip, it just didn't play all the way.
You see her kind of like pick him up and put her arm over her shoulder. It's heavy, but she knows she's done this before, so she knows she can handle it.
Yeah.
Fuck,
like,
he's
all
a
right.
Well, here's the thing. You've done it before he got ripped. He's fucking like 290
but-
at this point.
I want this to be known, Chris. She's not weak by any means. She works
don't-
around a school for a living, and she also is a doctor. Doctors kind of need to have some strength to them.
Can you bench 290? Because that's what he's like fucking.
It's also part of her armor, because I always have it that she has. One of the big things that happened is
super suit.
when one of the gifts Shade Academy had given her to just stay on to stay around close by campus, so that way that she could, if someone needs treatment, they just go to her.
The bribe they gave.
Yeah, there wasn't really. She was going to stay anyway because her apprentice Yuna is still in school at Shade, but she works for her basically as like a little as like an assistant to like kind of get more knowledge. She's an intern. She gets paid before you ask. She's a paid intern, but
He's a slave.
no. But the gift they gave her to stay around campus was at least like kind of like somewhat of Atlas tech for her armor. That way she can use it to make herself enhanced. So she's not carrying you, but she's carrying you like one arm over her shoulders and like carrying you like that, and she's kind of like dragging you.
Yeah. That's
And so the last thing, because I just realized it's almost 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah. We can
So
start
the
wrapping
last
it up.
thing the last thing she does is she brings Lucas to his room, and she tries to set him down lightly, but ends up kind of just tossing him on the bed.
Yeah.
And I assume Grimlock followed her.
Yeah. He's just kind of like shadowing at this point.
She looks back and she's like, "You
Me.
either go lay down in your bed, or go to the medical bay and lay in the bed on there. One or the other."
I must eat a churro and a burger. Then I shall rest.
That's fine. That's what you need anyway. To eat. You haven't eaten. It seems like you haven't eaten in a while.
It has
You need to eat.
been some time since I have consumed.
Well, go. Make sure you actually sleep. I'll know if you don't. Trust me.
I will. We have much to discuss when it comes time.
We'll do that in the morning.
Yeah. For
As you see, the last thing she does, kind of after she says that, is you see her kind of grab Lucky's hands and start kind of. She has like tape, like the medical tape, on her, like in her pockets.
yeah.
And you see her kind of wrap the tape around his knuckles, and like around his hand. And she sighs. She's like, You're never gonna stop making me work." As she like turns to walk out.
I see nothing much has changed.
No,
he fucking ripped one as you turn around.
Jesus.
she walks out. She's like, "He never changed."
For what it's worth, it is good to see all of you again.
I wish it were under better circumstances, but you too, Grimlock.
Yes.
As she goes back to the medical bay to like, so a big thing is she's she's a sleeper, but a weird type of sleeper is that like she doesn't sleep a lot.
Yeah.
She's a doctor by nature, and doctors a lot of the time don't sleep. But you see her she had the coffee that Turf had made. She kind of just set it in the medical bay because it was the last place she was at
Yeah.
before she got to drink any of it.
You do see Turf kind of approach you since you're kind of the second in command. He goes, "Pardon." Oh, hold on. That's the voice. I gotta do my O'Connors.
It's fucking.
Excuse me, mistress. If it's all the same to you, I noticed y'all have a lookout post. I figured I'll take first watch for the night. Val
If you
had
want.
volunteered to. Man, I cannot nail that voice after a long sentence. Val had offered to take the second watch.
If you guys want to, I'll be in here. I'd appreciate you guys doing. We should be the ones doing. This is our outpost to begin with, but
He kind of does like a
Grimlock's
courteous
like, "You
bow,
gotta-"
and he says, "By your wood," and he walks away and heads up to the outpost.
you see her kind of walk back into the medical bay, kind of like a nurse does. You see her kind of spin back around and like sit in the chair. You see her kind of just like face palm for a minute and rub her face. She's like, it's gonna be a lot harder than I thought. So what she does is she pulls out her current day scroll, the one she uses normally.
Yeah.
And she kind of sends a message to Yuna. She knows she's asleep because the clinic that she runs closes by this time normally. Because you can't the nurses don't overwork themselves. And since Yuna's kind of an apprentice, she told her to start closing up shop earlier, just in case, unless it was like an emergency. So she calls Yuna. She knows she's asleep, but she calls her and leaves a message. Tells her kind of the gist of what's going on and that this might take a lot longer than planned for it.
And you send it out, hoping it breaks through the storm, and gets to.
And then she kind of like closes her scroll, puts it back on the desk, and she begins kind of like what she used to have. She says notes for everybody, like for every person she meets. So she starts filling out the notes for the newcomers that she made friends with, and the original members of Team Scarlet to update their like kind of their notes for them.
Yeah.
And that is the last thing she does.
All right.
As she's like trying to kind of just drinking coffee on the side.
And I think that is where we will call
4
it.
o'clock.
We just
said we'd go for an hour.
The final sip of your coffee, and that is the end. There you go.
God, fucking Luke. I didn't realize how emo Lucas was.
Yeah, you made him. Why is the music so hyped up?
It's the end credits.
It's like anime. It's like anime, Lil. Fucking
pretty much.
Family gets murdered, proceeds to the happy dance break.
Happy outro.
Right. Well, I know we were recording, but I have to go because it is 4 o'clock. I have to get up to do homework tomorrow before I go to work. So I'm gonna head out. I will talk to you guys later, and it was fun recording this though.
Yeah.
So,
if I
later,
do get
guys.
a chance to upload the first two, thank y'all for watching.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Woohoo!
We'll see you guys later.
Yeah. Let's
All right,
stop.
but anyway,